The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Welcome to the final regular season weekend of high school football here on Delaware Live and 302 Sports. And we're going to amp it up. We're going to feature 3 matchups for you on our free live streams. Benny Mitchell tonight and his crew are down in Laurel, Delaware. They have Sussex Tech against Laurel in a battle for a 2A playoff spot. We have our game here tonight. It's senior night at Appoquinimink High School, Middletown against Appo, a cross-district rivalry. And then tomorrow night, we're going to close out the regular season with the final game of the regular season. Nick Alessandrini and the crew will have for you Caravel Academy at Red Lion, and that's for a district championship tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend here on the channel here on 302 Sports. You mentioned it, a fantastic one here tonight. A couple of matchups, up and down the state for us all with Benny and crew, and then tomorrow, you said it, another fantastic matchup on the slate that, of course, has some other ramifications along with it, as you alluded to earlier. So it's going to be a very fun weekend, and excited to get started here with this one, game number 1 for us on the slate.
Yeah, tomorrow night, that game you have is in observance of Veterans Day, which is coming up early next week, and they are going to have a lot of special activities going on for pregame, so you want to tune in for that one, folks. Our game here tonight, both of these teams come in with records of 7-2. Middletown is 3-1 in the district. Appo is 2-2. They've lost 2 of their last 3 ball games. All right, let's look at our players to watch. We'll begin with the Middletown Cavaliers, and they're just loaded with skill players, and all of them are underclassmen, Nick. That's what makes it really special for them. You take a look at the Cavalier offense. The quarterback is a junior, Cunningham. The running backs, Walker and Glover, are juniors. Then you got Hanif Miller. He's a sophomore. Yeah. And then look at the wideouts. Pope and Garrett are both juniors. The only one they lose is John Parker, and they haven't had him but for the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, and that's a tough part. You talked about Parker. Yeah, they'll lose him, but how about that for that crew coming back for next season? As, again, chilling up here with Musk, getting us some Appoquinimink media passes in here.
I think it's for the sideline.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Appreciate it always. I'm telling you, the hospitality here goes unmatched. We got another message from the Hoffs here up on the wall as well. Fantastic to be back here at Appo. But you said it, and we saw Mekhi Walker, Amari Glover, and Miller all have huge plays in that game against Salesianum a few weeks ago. So they all have big play capability, and that was against the best defense in the state of Delaware. So now you get Appo, a team that's also very talented defensively, maybe not to the level that Sally's has been this year. So I think we might see our fair share of big plays here tonight.
Yeah, on the defensive side, Malachi Stewart, and he's one of our players to watch, I think. Middle linebacker, senior, 66 tackles, 4 for loss on the season. And then on the other side there, their flex linebacker, the junior, Jack Wilson, 92 tackles and 6 for loss. He's a little banged up. Hopefully, he's supposed to go tonight. Hopefully he doesn't get any more injury to that I believe it's the elbow area.
That's right. Yeah, I talked to a source before the game today that told me that he is playing with a fully torn UCL in that elbow. So, again, if that's the case, that is just unbelievable that he's out here playing in this game and, of course, trying to give his team a better chance to win. Again, he's a fantastic wrestler. That wrestling season now in jeopardy because of that injury. So to see him out here battling through it, again, that's a toughness that you just can't teach.
And both of these teams will be in the tournament. I think that's already a foregone conclusion. The winner of this game, and the loser, by the way, where are they going to be seeding-wise when the tournament committee meets on Sunday? The winner's going to have the inside track at a home game in the opening round. The loser might have to go on the road, and they're both taking a look at what's happening south of here, about 15 miles, because if Smyrna upset Sussex Central, thus winning that District 2, they will get the 2 seed. Central becomes the 3. These two are probably going to be 4 and 5. That 5th seed they're going on the road. And they might meet each other in the first round.
Again, that's going to be, I mean, it shows you how important that game is downstate, as you mentioned. So you always see that scoreboard watching the NFL, the final weeks of the regular season, see who is in, who's out, and where you're going to be. Well, there's no big screen for them to watch that game tonight. They're focused on the action here. But, of course, they'll be checking afterwards because a lot of ramifications, as we mentioned earlier, all over the state tonight, and that is a big one. Smyrna playing real hot football right now. Sussex Central been one of the best teams in the state, all year long. So that should be a good one as well there, just a little bit down the road.
All right, let's take a look at the players to watch for the Appo Jags. We already mentioned they have an identical record in Middletown of 7-2. Desai Drummond, he missed the last game and a half. He had an ankle injury. Coach tells me he's good to go tonight. Of course, he's the junior QB. Over 1,500 passing yards this year, another 200 rushing, 22 touchdowns passing. He has thrown 6 interceptions, but he has a fantastic wide receiver corps led by Jasir Rogers.
Yes, he does. I mean, just a group that is so versatile, inside and outside. You talked about Rogers, that 4.3 speed. That's something you just don't see that often, in the area, and he's been fantastic for them since coming over from Red Lion. He'll be heading, I believe, back up to Beaver Stadium tomorrow to hang out at Penn State with Coach James Franklin there for visiting the game on game day. So he will be there for that game tomorrow. So he's trying to take care of business tonight. Drummond coming off that ankle injury. Let's see, when you mentioned the 6 interceptions, when you throw it and you sling it as much as he does, that's just going to come with the territory, right? You'll have some of those, but he's been fantastic this year. But you said it, let's pay attention to that mobility. He's great with that pocket awareness. He can move out of the pocket, make throws while on the run. Let's see how mobile he is dealing with that injury. You mentioned that he suffered a few weeks ago.
And what he has needed all season long is some kind of running attack to complement the passing game that they have. Most of the season, Reggie Lee was injured. He came back for one game. He got hurt almost immediately. Now he's had season-ending surgery. Coach says we're going to try something different tonight. Dylan Griffith, one of the best defensive backs in the state, just got back to being a wide receiver a couple of games ago. We saw him his first start against St. Mark's, and he had a fantastic night. They're going to run him from the running back position tonight, see if he can throw a little wrinkle into things and maybe take some of the pressure off of Drummond.
Yeah, I don't hate it. You're right. You're going through a little bit of a 2-game skid. You've been kind of a, one facet of the game identity there offensively with just through the air attack. And why not look for a spark elsewhere? I don't hate it. We talked about the athlete he is. I mean, defensively phenomenal as well. Had a few interceptions, I believe, this year. We saw a couple of them in person here up at Appoquinimink. So it's going to be interesting to see him back there. I'm excited for it. I think it's a good idea from Coach Timpson. If you're looking for a spark, why not give a guy, an athlete like that, a chance to make a play?
Well, as I mentioned before, it is senior night here at Appo High. All of the cheerleaders, band members, and football players have already been announced to the crowd here. Big crowd. I know I got here early, so I got a prime parking spot. As a matter of fact, they moved the cones for me. Let me get a parking spot. I pulled in, and I saw officials, not in their striped uniforms yet, standing around. I said, "Oh, is this an official spot?" He goes, "Yeah, we got all these, but here's one right over here." I said,
You're
not going to throw a flag on me, are you? He goes, "Yeah, this is just a warning. That's a sideline warning on it."
So you got one spot. See, if I would have came, that would have pushed us over. It would have been beyond the warning. We would have gotten the flag. So me and Pat had to put our running shoes on and get over here. I'm outside the elementary school, out in the very front. So getting out of here might be a little bit easier for me. I'm right by the roundabout, so I'll be able to get right on the road. But, yeah, it was a nice little jog for me into the stadium today.
And now Pat had to carry a lot of equipment, so
Pat probably had the toughest job.
Yeah, he's already complaining about his knee. I mean, this guy's half my age. I haven't had any knee problems. It's like, come on, Pat.
The equipment is no joke. That is no joke, especially if you're by yourself. And Pat, I didn't even know you did that. Pat, how did you do that? Oh my, yeah. Thank you.
Over the years, these quarterbacks,
my goodness.
Yeah. And we do want to mention this is our First State Ortho game of the week. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician assistants at 16 locations. They provide surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of conditions, and they're trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. They serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local rec and competitive leagues. Their doctors are also readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid, and urgent care centers for consult and treatment. You can call them at 302-731-2888 or visit firststateortho.com And please mention you saw and heard their ad right here on Delaware Live Sports. And we're hoping this game lives up to the billing of the First State Ortho game of the week. Pat and I did Nick, we did the Brandywine Polytech 1A game last Friday night. What a ball game. The lead changed, I think, 5 times in the third quarter alone. There were 5 scoring plays in the third quarter of 50 yards plus.
Oh, you got to love that, kind of like the Ravens-Bengals game last night. Yeah, definitely hit the over there on that one. I'll tell you, that was a lot of fun to watch. And that game that you guys did last week was a lot of fun to watch, too. I was able to check out a little bit of it, and we're about to, I think, be in store for a nice one. Pat, you have showing me down there. We got a comment from Kedrick Whitehead, the former Middletown Cavalier and Delaware Blue Hen, tuning in to the action tonight. Had a privilege of being on the sideline for a lot of his action. I'll tell you, one of the hardest hitters there was.
Talk about a former Blue Hen. The principal here at Appo High is none other than Sam Postlethwaite, who was a quarterback and a punter at Caesar Rodney High School and at the University of Delaware.
There you go.
He got to start as QB for about a year and a half. And maybe one of the best punters in the state of Delaware in high school ball for quite a few years. Sam's the principal here, and he makes a point of making sure he seeks me out before the game, and we kind of reminisce a little bit. I used to call his games on radio. That's right, folks.
Right,
radio, back in the day.
That's right. It's still on the radio. It's still on the radio now. Now you just have to use the apps, right? Now you got to use the iHeart Radio app. That's just the only difference, unless you're in the car.
Well, the captains on the respective sidelines are getting ready to head out to the center of the field, and we'll have the flip of the coin, see who's going to receive the opening kickoff. I got to tell you a quick funny story. Playing golf yesterday, and usually we're in the tee box, and we flip the tee to see what pair goes first.
Oh, yeah.
And this has never happened before. My cousin flips the tee. It goes to my other friend, and he goes, I don't want to go first. We're deferring. He deferred in golf. You can't. What are you doing?
I guess you defer in anything now.
I guess.
That's the way it's going. Defer to the second half. Defer to the back 9.
Oh, I have. I've been remiss. Let me introduce the crew. Up on top on our camera is Christopher Hollywood Widener. He loves that nickname I gave him back in the early part of the season.
I love it too. I was in the group text a little bit earlier. In the group text a little bit earlier, you sent it in there, and I loved reading it. It's a great nickname to have, and I'm going to call him that the rest of his life.
There you go. Ben Fulton, still photography. He's down on the field, and here in the booth producing, Pat Garriantes. I'm Glenn Fraser. He's Nick Halliday, and we hope we're in for an exciting night. Did I call him Nick Halliday? Nick Alessandrini.
Glenn, you know the rules.
I
would never correct you.
I did
and
it.
You never correct me.
No, I did it. I think the last time, and you commented right away and said, "I think Halliday's at home watching on the couch." I should have picked up on that.
It's been a long week, Glenn. I'll tell you.
Oh man, I've done.
It's been a long week.
Four field hockey games, volleyball games. You got a big football game tomorrow, Rhode Island and UD.
That's right. Rhode Island, top 10 team this year, Glenn.
Yeah.
Coming in with that 10th ranking. It's going to be a fun one there tomorrow afternoon over there at Delaware Stadium. 3 games left in the FCS history.
Yeah,
how about that?
I think the Rhode Island Rams are the highest ranked team in the conference.
Yep,
right now.
yeah, they are. Absolutely right. And should be a fun one. So.
All right, I think we're going to step aside here. I got the signal from my producer.
And director, double duty today.
Yeah, he gives me signals, I'll tell you. The ROTC squad now making their way onto the field, and when they get out there, we'll have our playing of our national anthem. Actually, it's going to be sung tonight by a choral group here at Appo High. They've gathered down on the track in front of us. So we're going to step aside. We'll be back for the opening kickoff of our First State Ortho game of the week right after this.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodal Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodal Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodal Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Citadel Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Citadel Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools.
The decision to the second half, so Middletown will go on the offense first. Middletown Cavaliers, coached by Zach Blum in his 8th season at his alma mater, has an overall record of 61-25. The athletic director of Middletown, good friend Colleen Kelly. Of course, Zach Blum led the Cavs to the 2021 state championship. Middletown has 8 overall state titles in Division II, Division I, and now Class 3A. They are ranked number 3 in our Super 7. Appo Jags head coach Brian Timpson in his 10th season, overall record of 52-49. The AD here, Chris Mascara. Chris does a great job, and he helps us out a lot. And we're ready to go, fellas.
He does do a great job. Great coach as well. Was one of my coaches at St. Mark's for all 4 years. He was my JV head coach and also a position coach later on as well.
I keep telling him we got to play golf sometime. He goes and hides.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
Beach in the summer.
Yeah, that's right, down there. You can catch him down there.
All right, here's the opening kickoff. Little squib kick down the center of the field, taking it to the 45-yard line. Cavaliers will have excellent field position at their own 46.
Now, do you think there, Glenn, that the idea was potentially an onside kick, or do you think that was just maybe trying to squib it, didn't want to give those guys, deep returners who are very dynamic a chance to make a play early on in the game? I think it might have just came off the foot wrong. I think they might have been trying to squib it to that second level.
I think so, too. If you're trying to squib it, yeah, you want to get a little further down the field than that. But we've seen this a lot the last 5, 6, 7 years. There's so many dangerous, speedy return specialists. Nobody wants to kick it deep anymore. All right, Cavaliers out on offense. Cunningham, the QB. Hands off on the first play from scrimmage, right up the middle to midfield, and just across the midfield stripe. That's number 4, Amari Glover.
Yeah, nice inside handoff here to Glover. Again, we'll see that 3-headed monster running back today from Middletown, and they'll have that up-tempo offense. We saw it a few weeks ago against Salesianum. Both of those offenses up-tempo for most of the game, so you'll rarely see them huddle, if at all. But a nice chunk there on first down, and now you're setting up second and manageable here.
Running back lined up behind Drummond. A receiver in motion. Now reverses field. They go off right tackle this time. Glover again very close to a first down at the 44-yard line of the Jags.
Middletown coming here. Obviously, their game plan was to pound the football early. You know, coaches like to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, Coach Blum coming out having an idea of what he wants to do, how he wants to attack this defense on the opening drive, and it is with that ground game. And this time they use the retrace motion to get the defense paying attention to the right side of the field, the wide side. Then they come back here to the near side with another handoff and a new set of downs.
Starting center is Joseph Miniconzi. The guards are Braden Feltz and Morgan Davis. The tackles Colin Campbell and Dion Parker for the Cavaliers. And they do a very good job. We have a wing set up this time in the formation. 2 wideouts to the top of your screen, a lone receiver to the bottom. Drummond looks top of your screen, completes the pass on a little screen up there, and a minimal gain, maybe about 3 yards. On the reception was number 6, Darius Pope.
And again, I like that play call. Again, not sure if that was a hot check at the line of scrimmage. You saw Cunningham look to the sideline, and those corners were playing a little bit deep. You know, I'm always a fan of the quarterback seeing those corners playing 6, 7, 8 yards back. I love throwing those little screens to the top or the bottom and giving a receiver to make a chance to make a play.
Pope leads the receiving corps with 8 touchdown receptions on the season. And he's caught 24 passes now for about 480 yards. This one off left tackle, crashing inside the Appo 40 to the 39-yard line. I think we had a different running back that time for the Cavs. It didn't appear to be Glover. Waiting to see a number. That was Francis Drummond on the carry. Oh, Hanif Miller, okay.
And once again, short gain. They've been loading up on one side and coming back to the weak side here a few times in that ground attack. And now a big third down.
So Miller gains a couple. Running back alongside. Now, I don't know what that signal is to the opposing teams.
And corners playing real deep here to this near sideline.
Cunningham back to pass, and we have a whistle. We got a pre-snap penalty coming up.
And a big one. I'm assuming it's going to be against the Cavaliers. And it is. So what, third down and manageable there at around 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, just became 3rd and long.
Yep.
And that's a crucial penalty for the Middletown offense here. And a big, we don't want to say break yet here for the Appo defense, but a big penalty here. Now see if the Jaguars can make them pay for it.
Brings up 3rd down and 10 back at the original line of scrimmage at the 44-yard line. Receivers, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. The wing back as well.
Same formation, I believe.
Yeah, just the opposite side of the field, right? Drummond checks the sideline for a change in the play. Excuse me, Cunningham. Cunningham in the gun, takes a snap. Pressure's coming. He's got a scramble. Amari Cofield, he gets rid of it late.
Now, if that's not a fumble, that's grounding. So it's going to be one of the two. And I'm not sure he got, as we do have a player down for the Appo Jaguars.
That's Leighton Von Brandt, the
and
sophomore.
that's the last thing you want to see. I mean, you never want to see anyone get hurt.
Yeah.
That's not, somebody that's been battling injuries for the Appo Jaguars, and that's going to be, a tough loss depending on how this goes. You really hope that he's okay down there.
Yeah, his brother's already out for the season,
you
a
hate to
fine
see that.
linebacker. Edge Von Brandt.
And I think I hear even Sean Green, WDL, up here with us. I think I hear Sean from down the way there.
Yeah, he's a couple of boosts down. I helped him out with some starters and stats
There
today.
you go. I love the collaboration there between the medias.
So the pressure came off of the left side of the Middletown offense that time, and it really caused Cunningham to scramble. Now, he had a lower leg injury himself and missed a couple of games. I'm wondering if he's 100%.
Exactly, and that's what we talked about, 2 weeks ago when we did the game. He was not out there for Middletown in that big game against Salesianum.
Yeah.
But again, on that one, I believe Appo dialing up some pressure there on 3rd and 10, trying to get the ball out of Cunningham's hand quickly, and the pressure was able to get there. As watching the replay here, Appo able to bring 5 or 6 guys there on the blitz, trying to force him out of the pocket. Now, was there a flag was my question, because if there wasn't a fumble, you might have had an idea or maybe a concern there for intentional grounding. So we haven't heard anything or seen anything, but the referees do kind of look as if, I think they're going to mark him down there. It's got to be one of the two. They're either calling him down for the sack or it's a penalty.
I'm watching Leighton Von Brandt come off the field. He is definitely in pain. That is such a hard thing to see. Head coach Brian Timpson, one of the guys helping him off the field. You never want to see that.
Yeah, that is a huge loss, and again, just hoping that whatever it is, that he is okay going forward.
All right, Middletown will go back into punt formation. The punter is Ham.
So I'm assuming it looks like they marked him down before the ball was released.
So Cofield gets a sack there. And for Amari Cofield, that is his – he doesn't have 11. I think that's 4 sacks for him on the season.
So we were right initially, Glenn. During the play, we thought it might be an intentional grounding. When it left his hands, that was what it was. They did make the call, and that's why the ball there is placed around the 35.
Should have Noah Hoff back deep to receive the punt. Now it is Noah Hoff. I see the 7. High punt. Short. Good hang time, but short. Not a lot of distance. Takes a Appo bounce and is down by the Cavaliers at about the 44. So that was the original line of scrimmage. So a big play on defense by Appo on that 3rd down and 10 play, and that's flipped the field.
Now both teams on these opening drives going to have great starting field position. We saw the short squib to start for Middletown. That opening drive for that offense out above the 40-yard line. Now Appo sitting at around their own 44. So great field positions for both offenses. We saw the Appo defense hold on their side against Middletown after they picked up 2 first downs. Let's see what the Appo offense could do now here against the Cavalier defense.
Well, there's Dylan Griffith, as promised, in at running back.
Now first play, how about that? He was telling you the truth.
He did. Trips to the top of your screen, lone receiver to the bottom. There's the snap. Drummond throws it in the near flat, completes it to Griffith out of the backfield, and he's up across midfield. Got good yardage on first down.
You heard Pat talk here next to us on top of the producing and directing, also noticing that Griffith in the backfield has the Ashton Jonty stance. He doesn't. It has the Michael Myers thing going on. Stand straight up. I'm willing to bet that is intentional.
Not knowing whether, kind of a fake out kind of thing. Who's going to get the snap? Is it going to be Griffith and the
Could
Wildcat?
be, right? There you go. A heck of an athlete, and obviously a good start to him there in the backfield.
3rd down and 3 at the 49 of the Cavaliers. Receivers are 2 by 2. Now Drummond is trying to reposition Griffith.
2nd down. I was wondering. I was like, did I miss a play?
Oh, second. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa, that didn't work. Handoff up the middle to Griffith, and he'll lose 3 yards back to the Appo 48.
No, blame Glenn. The chain crew had the 3rd down marker out there
Yeah,
down on
they
the
did.
field, so that had us a little confused. But it was, in fact, 2nd down, and didn't matter for Middletown. Appo trying to get that ground game going there, throwing it on 1st down, trying to hand it off there inside, but that nothing going. That Middletown defensive front with that initial pressure, limiting that thing at the line of scrimmage.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 6 now for Appo. Nice night for football here. It's just been a weird week. We had field hockey one night in the 50s. 2 nights later, it was in the 70s. Now we're back in the 50s. Trips to the top of your screen. Drummond back. Pressure's coming off the left side. He's going to take off and run with it. Stutter step move at the 50 and has the 1st down in Middletown territory at the 44.
Nice run by Drummond. Great recognition. That pressure off the end, I think it was just a straight 4-man pressure. I don't think any blitz was brought from the Cavaliers there. It was just a straight rush of 4. And coming off the edge there, number 25, Taseer Young, like a missile, was able to get to him quickly. But we talked about Drummond's pocket awareness. It's one of the best in the state. He's able to feel that, slide up, found an opening, and able to get the 1st down. Again, didn't look 100%, though, tucking that football and running. We talked about that ankle here the last few weeks. He looked good running it, but did not quite look 100%, something to keep an eye on.
All right, fresh set of downs for the Jaguars. Jacob Yard goes in motion, resets, handoff up the middle. They're trying to use Yard for extra blocking. That's Caden Harvey Brown on the run, and he's going to lose 2 yards.
Yeah, guess who? Jack Wilson coming up and laying the boom there. That's a TFL for number 49 in white. We talked about him, not only one of the better linebackers in the state, but that toughness. That play made, of course, with that fully torn UCL in the elbow.
Yeah.
Kind of a phenomenal thing that he's out there on the field right now.
It is. So like I said, coming in, 92 tackles on the season, 6 TFLs. Give him 7 now as it's 2nd down and 11. Receivers, again, 2 by 2. Drummond standing in midfield. And they're going to rotate the backs in and out. He's back to pass. Pressure's coming. He got away from the blitzer. Throws it downfield just a little bit too far and incomplete for Noah Hoff.
Not sure if there was a miscommunication up front, but it was either Young or I believe 29 on the far edge. I'm going to have to say maybe it was Young again there. This time he was on the left side of the play, and he just came unblocked off that left edge. It must have been a miscommunication, Glenn, up front with that Appoquinimink offensive line, because that's been 2 or 3 now straight clear rushes for this Middletown defensive line.
I think you're right. It might have been 29, Eric Dawkins, the freshman. He's getting some PT out there. I see him lined up as a linebacker on the far side of the field.
Yeah, he came clean off the edge. And now a big 3rd down here for Appoquinimink. We saw the Jags hold Middletown on their 3rd and long.
3rd down and 11 play. Trips to the top of your screen, a lone receiver to the bottom. Caden Harvey Brown stays in at running back. Drummond, and we've got a pre-snap whistle, and I think a timeout. I saw Coach Timpson coming out. I think the clock was winding down.
And that time, Middletown showing a little pressure. Not sure if they would have came with it are able to drop back, but showing some pressure there on that 3rd and 10. We'll see if they dial it up here after the timeout as well. But a pretty clean game so far, right? Not a lot of laundry here early on, just a full start early here at Appoquinimink.
And then I guess the grounding call as well. Again, we never saw a flag, but going to keep an eye on some other scores for you around the state tonight. And this final weekend of the regular season, the tournament committee will meet on Sunday to determine who's going to be in the tournament and what the seedings will be. And they still haven't decided yet about that one game that Dover didn't get to play, when the team from Carnoustie, New York, never showed up for the ball game. They couldn't make it down, and that might come into play. All right, after the timeout, trips again to the top of your screen. Lone receiver to the bottom is Jasir Rogers.
And Jack Wilson showing pressure. Dropping back.
Drummond back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, eludes one defender, but a short tackle is made for a 1-yard loss, and that is number 25, Young again.
I'll tell you what, he has been fantastic on this drive defensively, but it's been that Middletown defensive line and linebacking core in general. I mean, no matter what the play is, at that time, Jaden Williams, the senior, just blowing up that initial push there from the offensive line. They have been all over Drummond here. Every time he's dropped back to throw through the, and it's not like they're bringing a lot of pressure. They're just winning their one-on-ones up front, and they're able to get to the quarterback. Kind of looks like the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud running around there so far here the last few weeks.
Gavin Miller into punt. Takes the high snap. Gets the punt off. And will bounce inside the 10, and it will go out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Talk about coffin corner punt.
There you go. I was going to say, bring out the Madden. Me and Pap, the mini games there. You know, the coffin corner punt. Bring back some of those. But that was a spectacular play, of course, on special teams. And maybe when you have two teams like that, special teams is a big deciding factor. And that's a big play there for that Appo special teams unit. And now the defense going to come out, and Middletown going to have to drive almost the length of the field here if they want to put the first points on the board, but something they're capable of doing.
Interesting beginning to this ball game. We have two prolific offenses out on this field tonight, but it's the defenses that have both forced 3 and outs on the initial possession.
That's right. And hey, again, don't want to reference too much of last night's Thursday Night Football, but the same thing happened early on. It was a defensive battle. Sent a few texts out, hey, defensive battle here tonight on Thursday Night Football. That's what we're used to. And then they started to light it up. Maybe I have a feeling these two teams may start to get it rolling here soon.
All right, Appo deep in their own end. Darian Cunningham, who missed most of the last 3 ball games. Now I think he whistled for he whistled for a timeout. So now both teams have used a timeout early in this half with 5:28 to go in the opening quarter.
I think the play clock might have been running down again just from watching the way that he emphatically was looking for the timeout. Something obviously wasn't right there offensively, and it kind of looked like the play clock might have been running down. Good recognition, though, by Cunningham to call the timeout. Again, would only been half the distance to the goal, but you're already pinned pretty deep in your own territory, so about halfway through the opening quarter. And we'll see who Middletown comes out there with in the backfield here to start out of the 3 running backs.
Yeah, we will. We got a early score for you down at Smyrna, Delaware. At Smyrna 8, Sussex Central 7. Malik Bell scores for the Golden Knights. No surprise there.
No way.
Yeah, Smyrna had a 70-yard drive and made the 2-point conversion, something they haven't been that successful at this season. So they're up 8-7 there. Thanks to program friend Earl Biddle for that update. Now we're ready to go coming out of the timeout. Cunningham in his own end zone. Can't see which number that is on the running back. He's got that jersey kind of tucked up a little bit under the pads.
He's got the Ashton Junty going a little bit. It must be the wave. Is that the new wave?
Trying to.
It's the wave now, I guess.
Trying to mess up the announcers. There's a handoff. Good shifty move at the line of scrimmage, out across the 5, maybe to about the 7-yard line, and that's Miller.
And Miller's got some speed. I know, Glenn, a few weeks ago when we were at Cavalier Stadium for that matchup with Salesian, that big run towards the end of the half, it was about 70 yards in a matter of seconds for him. So he's got that big play ability, and obviously they're trying to get him some touches here early on in this game.
He's another guy that missed a couple of games earlier this year due to an injury. All right, some shifting on the line of scrimmage. Miller stays in the game as the feature running back just behind Cunningham. And Miller will get it again off left side. Ooh, he ran right into a defender. That's like a wall up there. That was number 57, Gavin Johns.
Man, met him right in the backfield, and a tackle for loss there for Johns, able to beat his man right off the snap and kind of just welcomed him, was just waiting for him as he got the handoff and got back to the line of scrimmage. Big play there, and Appo making some plays with Middletown pinned deep here, and now a big third down coming up for the Cavaliers.
That starting defensive line for Appo, Omari Cofield, Gavin Johns, Ian Malone, and it was Leighton Von Brandt, but he's out. We'll have to pick up and see who came in for him.
Yeah, and Von Brandt getting some medical treatment here by the staff on the table, now gone here, but he's on the crutches in the near side.
That's a shame. I hate to see that. Third down and 7. Cunningham, option far side, almost got a safety. Let's see. They're going to call him, I think, down just outside the goal.
This is a big call because that could have gone either way. There was a speed sweep to the left side, and it was not really executed that well. The spacing between Cunningham and Miller was not where it needed to be at all. It was just a disconnect there. And that led to the big play, but they're going to mark it just outside the goal line. It was a cuff angle from where we are to see because we're not on the – Sean probably had a better angle there down the hallway. But a tough play there. That was just a speed option that wasn't executed properly.
Now a very important punt here. Appo should get good field position. Ham is standing just outside the back line.
Heels touching the lines.
Yeah. So you need a really good snap from your long snapper here.
Well, that's a great job there by that Appo defense, and it all started with the special teams unit and that fantastic punt.
Exactly. There's the snap. It's perfect. Pressure was coming in from Cofield, but Ham got the punt off. Whoever the blocker was right in front of him did a great job picking up Cofield. But great field position for Appo at the Middletown 25-yard line.
Yeah, about a net of about 20 yards right after the punt there for Middletown. So special teams does their job. The defense does their job for Appo. Now can the offense do their job? Great field position. You're deep in Middletown territory. Let's see if the Appo offense can capitalize on what the other two units were able to do as well.
I didn't pick up the number of who blocked Cofield, but I tell you what, if he didn't catch him, that was going to be a block punt or maybe tackling the punter in the end zone.
Okay, we got some dynamic pass rushers here in this game as well with Cofield. Last time we were here, he was unblockable in that game. I believe it was against Smyrna. And, of course, on the other side, we've already had the Tyseer Young, the youngster, make his impact felt.
Drummond in the gun. Back to pass. Has time. Now he rolls to the right. Throws it downfield. Has a man wide open at the 10-yard line. It's Rogers inside the 5. Rogers in the end zone for a touchdown.
And there it is. They do capitalize. One play drive for the score. A big touchdown to jump out to the lead here at home on senior night. And we talked about Rogers. His end zone, he's told us, it's his best friend. He does like to live there, and he is already there here so far tonight. He's phenomenal. But that was the first time Drummond didn't have immediate pressure. That Middletown brought forward. The line picked it up initially. He had time to survey the field, and by the time he was able to escape the pocket when they finally got there, Rogers was able to find the opening. Great job by Drummond to keep the eyes downfield and make a throw, because when he gets out of the pocket and it becomes backyard football, Jasir Rogers is going to be near impossible to stop.
Yeah, he was great yards after catch there. And he got himself wide open at the 10, but the offensive line, they gave Drummond time to find him.
First time tonight.
Snap, placement down by Noah Hoff, kick on the way, and the kick is good. And the kicker for Appoquinimink, that's Jack Talley, 34 out of 35 now on extra points this season.
Oh, is that good?
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Timeout on the field. We'll take a quick break, too. We'll be right back with 2:51 to go in the first quarter. Appo 7, Middletown nothing.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
All right, here's the kickoff following the 25-yard touchdown pass, taken on a line drive at the 15-yard line, up across the 30, 35, 40. 45, midfield, down the far sideline, and into Appo territory down inside the 40-yard line. On the return for Middletown was the Bernie Green, the senior.
And we talked about the big special teams play from Appo, the punt that pinned them deep, allowed them to get to field position for that one-play touchdown drive. Middletown special teams unit, the kick return team doing their part here. A huge return, and now Middletown with fantastic field position. Had good field position already here in the game, but this is the best so far here in the opening quarter for the Cavaliers. See if it gives them a spark here.
Yeah, at the 39 of the Jags. Tubers in motion. That's Parker. Comes back the other way. It's a handoff up the middle, big hole, and about a 10, maybe 11-yard pickup on the carry.
Yeah, so we've seen what Middletown wants to do. They want to run the football. That's evident here so far in the first quarter. That time, a great carry out on your fake by Cunningham. Pat will know this. They tell you as a quarterback, carry out those fakes because you never know when they're going to pay off. And that time, you saw some Appos react to the fake throw as well.
That was Glover on the run. Now here's a pitch out, trying to get outside. That's Parker, and he'll get down close to the 25-yard line. And I don't know what we got Appo players really jumping up and down over there.
I think the ball came loose late, but they're going to mark him down by contact.
Gain of about 3, we'll call it. Just outside, the ball spotted outside the 26-yard line.
So a lot of stuff for Middletown here early, Glenn, has been the running game and then the short passing game. Nothing really down the field at all through the air yet. And now a Wildcat look here.
Yeah, Glover take the direct snap. Brings Parker in motion. Now he'll reset in the backfield. Glover hands it off to Parker. Tries to get around the left edge. He does at the 20 and popped hard at the 17. He'll get the first, but he paid for that one. What a hit by Yalik Carter. Oh!
Wow. I don't usually, as play-by-play, I don't like to jump in during plays. I couldn't help myself on that one.
Reaction.
He took that was a laying of the boom because leading up to that, watching the run, I'm going, wow, John Parker looks absolutely fantastic. You look down the sheet, it says he's a wide receiver. That was a fantastic run as a running back. We talked about him and Griffith, but that hit on the other side, great plays by both of those guys.
I wonder if he has any teeth left. Give up the middle to Miller. Tried to get low and get around the defender, but he did not. A gain of only 2.
And again, nowadays you don't see everybody wearing the mouthpieces. Back in my day, I always had the mouthpiece just kind of flops all over the place in today's age. So who knows?
On to stop that time was Seaman, the junior linebacker. 2nd down and 9 after a 1-yard pickup. Cunningham brings Parker in motion again to the near side. He fakes the little pass to him. Miller has it down the sideline, dives for the pylon. Did he get in?
I think he did.
Waiting, yes, and now it's a touchdown call.
And there it is once again, Cunningham carrying out that fake. If you look down the next level of the defense for Appoquinimink, look at that secondary. All it was, it froze him. All it needed to do was freeze him for a second. It did. And then once Miller hits that next level, they're not going to catch him. He's showing off the speed, able to get to the pylon almost with ease for the big touchdown for Middletown. What an answer from the offense after the touchdown from Appoquinimink. And not only that, it started once again with special teams and that kick return unit that gave them fantastic field position. But a nice drive there from the Cavaliers for 6.
Boy, they responded in a hurry, too. You had that one teeth-jarring hit, but that was after a good gain. Snap's good, placement's good, kick on the way by Austin Ham, and that's good. Your long snappers for Middletown is Cooper Burgess. The holder was Lamar McCoy. We want to give the special team unit some props because on those extra points, it takes all those guys. And that one's good with just 37 seconds to go in the quarter as we keep it right here.
Glenn, and for special teams on special teams days, and I'm not sure if Pat did, but quarterbacks didn't have too much to do. I was a long snapper, so I went and I did the long snapping with the long snappers and Coach Sibley. And I'll tell you, you said it, there's so much that has to go into these extra points being made. I'm sure. I know Pat was a holder. I know that as well. So, yeah, there's a lot. The snap, the hold, the block, the kick, a lot that goes into it. And, of course, a great job by both teams here executing the extra points here in the first quarter. It's the little things sometimes, Glenn.
That's right. Usually you'll see quarterbacks be the holder.
That's right, yep.
On a lot of the special team units.
Kirk Herbstreit holds for the Pat McAfee College game day for the kick.
But you were a long snapper, huh?
I did. I long snapped.
Okay.
What a nice little crew.
We're all tied at 7, almost the end of the first quarter. And you heard these guys talk about the Thursday night football game last night. 3 and outs for both offenses on the initial possession, and then the next time they get the ball, touchdown, touchdown.
Yeah, I think they scored a touchdown almost every drive the rest of the way. It was a fun to watch that game tonight or last night. Jamar Chase, I'm playing against him in fantasy. I'm out this week. I'm going to watch the game.
Little squib kick, and that time a much better squib kick as Middletown just takes the ball, fall on the knee at the 22-yard line, and that's where Appo will have the ball at their own 22 with only 37 seconds to go in this opening quarter.
You know what I've learned in doing a lot of these games with Pat Glenn is he's a very good fantasy player, and he just pulled up the phone. He showed me that he had Jamar Chase last night, who erupted for 50, one of the best fantasy football games of all time. But, Pat, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, and maybe we'll save this for off the air. Did you win fantasy baseball again? No, we did. Oh, my goodness. Glenn, it's been 4 years in a row. Nick Halliday's in the league, and Pat wins fantasy baseball championship every year. I didn't get the chance to ask him yet. Turns out he won it for, a third or fourth consecutive year. Wow, unbelievable.
Third. Where's Nick Halliday end up? At the bottom?
That's why he didn't show up tonight, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Beat him in the oh, man, that's got to hurt.
All right, here we go from their own 22. Appo started, then they stopped. We got an official timeout.
Looks like a full start against Appoquinimink. Not the way you want to start the drive.
Don't want to get behind the chains early. Our referee is Kirk Ron Wilson in this ball game tonight. And the official up here running the clock said, "Do you want the rest of the names?" I said, "Nah, he's the only one we blame." Just the referee.
It's like the quarterback, right? Good or bad, either way.
All right, Drummond, two-step drop. Comes to the other side of the field. Montebell with a good move after the catch. He's all the way out across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. What a good job after the catch.
Fantastic job, and that's all timing between Drummond and Montebell, his receiver, right? Straight drop, on the money, no pressure, able to get it right to him, and then the awareness from Montebell to feel where that defender is, right? Stopping on a dime, has the catch, and immediately makes the move back to the inside part of the field, picking up the extra yardage after the catch.
Montebell coming into the game tonight, 27 receptions for 374 yards and 6 touchdowns. As this is one of the best receiving corps you'll see in the state. Montebell, Noah Hoff, Jasir Rogers, and when he is lined up there, Dylan Griffith. All right, first down play out at their own 32.5-yard line. Drummond, hands off up the middle. Griffith bounces out of it, gets good yardage all the way up to about the 37, maybe the 38.
And again, Middletown, a tough team to run on with those linebackers and those guys, up front on the defensive line. So Appo, in terms of yards per carry tonight, not too bad. Starting to get some things going here, and you can't be one-dimensional against a team like Middletown. It's something we talked about at the top of the broadcast, trying to go to Griffith just to give them a little bit of a spark. You have to get some contribution on the ground game.
All right, and that brings us to the end of one quarter, and we are all tied up on our first State Ortho game of the week. Middletown 7, Appo 7. Back after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
We're back to start the second quarter. Appo with the football now, moving from your left to your right. Throwing the far flat, diving attempt made, and I think the catch was made. It was by Noah Hoff. He's about a yard shy of the first down.
So they needed 4, they get 3. Just a little comeback to the outside for Noah Hoff. And now it's interesting, right, because we talked about the ground game, and typically 3rd and 1, you think about most likely running the football, but if you're Appoquinimink, what do you do here? Right, the run game's been stagnant for you, not only a little bit tonight, it's early, we'll see how it progresses, but for the most part, as we talked about for the season, so just as an offense, in totality, what do you do here if you're the Jaguars? You put the ball in Drummond's hands, or do you give it to your new man Griffith here in the backfield. Big 3rd and short.
Their fullback, Caden Harvey-Brown, had a 100-yard game in the win over Smyrna. Other than that, they haven't had a running back gain that many yards in a game. Oh, pressure's coming. All that. Drummond got away from it, got to the 40, but he's not going to get the first down.
That was very impressive for him to even get back to the line of scrimmage. And I was thinking right before that play, if you're Middletown, that defense has had success every time they brought pressure. They have not been able to handle any extra men up front for Appoquinimink on that offensive line. And that time, Coach dialed it up. They bring 5 or 6 with some of those linebackers, and that pocket collapsed very quickly for Drummond, who's done a good job of using his legs to extend some of these plays, but you can't do it every time.
That'll bring Gavin Miller into punt, 4th and short. Gets off a nice high punt, good hang time, probably will not be returned, and takes a Middletown bounce, will be downed up near the Cavalier 44-yard line. Well, our good friend Earl Biddle's giving us another update. Smyrna has extended its lead over Sussex Central to 16-7, and he says they're going strictly with the earthquake right now with Kamaj Kearney, who was a wideout when the season started. Now they're using him at a running back.
Well, we talked about it, over the weeks. Once you get to November, Smyrna starts to turn it on. No matter if they got a young team, an old team, it starts to come together. Coach Judy and that coaching staff doing a great job getting those guys ready for the end of the year. And they're starting to get hot at the right time, and that's all you can ask for. But again, let's see now what the Middletown offense can do after they had that touchdown drive last time on the field.
Yep, trips to the top of your screen, lone receiver to the bottom. Cunningham takes a low snap, look left, back right. Was hit right when he threw the ball downfield and over the head of his intended receiver. Noah Hoff back there defending, and the intended receiver was B.J. Garrett.
Great coverage. Obviously, they had a man up front, and then Hoff was the man over the top in case he tried to go deep, and Hoff not beat at all. Again, you see some of the time, the speed with Garrett and some of these other receivers that are that dangerous. They're able to get past the defense, but Hoff able to stay in position, not let him get behind you. That's your number one job back there, and he did a great job of that on that play.
Middletown goes no huddle. They had to wait for Garrett to get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. We're just underway in the second quarter. Parker again in motion. Oh, in the backfield, Glover is hit for a loss of about 5 yards. Right there was number 78 for Appo.
It was 58, I believe.
It was 58,
Ian
okay.
Malone, thanks to Pat Garanis, who has been fantastic spotting for us here so far today. But that was one of those tackle for losses, beat his man up front right off the snap of the ball, Glenn. And we've seen a few of those Jadeveon Clowney-like TFLs as soon as these running backs have taken some of these handoffs.
5-yard loss, 3rd down and 15. Middletown behind the chains now. Receiver in motion to the near side. That's Parker. It's a play action fake. Drummond's trying to float it, and they just threw it out of bounds.
That's going to be interesting. No call, no flag. They're just going to act as if that's a straight incomplete pass.
Pressure applied by Connor Morton, a sophomore.
So how about that? So now you're going to see the Jaguars kind of take a play out of what they've been experiencing offensively with that pressure. This time the Appo Jaguars bring 6, and they're able to immediately get to Cunningham, force him out of the pocket. Even on the play action kind of faked some of the Jaguars, but there was so much pressure the Cunningham was still forced to the sideline, had to get rid of it.
Nice little cat and mouse game going on here tonight between these two teams, the two coaches. Brian Timpson for Appo used to be on Middletown's staff. Not when Zach Blum was the head coach, but he was there when Zach was an assistant as well. There's the punt by Austin Ham. Fair catch called for by Hoff, and he makes it down inside the 25 or the 24-yard line with 9.5 minutes to go in this first half. All tied at 7.
Yeah, so the biggest key, or what I'm looking for right now, Glenn, is how are these offenses going to adapt to the pressure? Because both defenses, when bringing pressure, have been able to limit them in the run game and through the air. We've seen Drummond shove off his legs a little bit on the touchdown throw, got out of the pocket and able to find a man down the field. And then Middletown got it going kind of with the run game there. So we have another update.
Go ahead.
How about this? Malik Bell, 85-yard kickoff return following that Smyrna touchdown. That young man, Glenn, is unbelievable.
Benny Mitchell says, I see the post-game interviews, and he says, I could put that DE 302
he might just have
bling
one of his
bling
own
on
by
him.
now,
I think
right?
he does.
He's got to have one in his bedroom.
I think Benny paid for one and just gave it to him.
Just bring it to the game with you. Don't forget it, Malik.
Right. All right, first down play. Oh,
Pressure
and a sack.
And that's a big sack. That was a slam there. I'm not sure who got to him. Was it Jack Wilson or maybe from the blitz?
I think it was Wilson.
Yeah, and again, look at that elbow for him to play through that like a missile through that pick, and it might have been the C-gap, but came unblocked, able to get to him, and it was a violent sack for Jack Wilson, and a big loss for Appo there on first down.
That's about an 8-yard loss on the sack.
Those can be drive killers. A big play for that Middletown defense on the opening play of the drive.
Yeah, we see both of these teams. They have a little problem when they get behind the chains.
And it goes back to what we said a few minutes ago, is right before they snapped the ball, we said, how are they going to deal with the pressure? That's what we were looking for. Well, on first down, they didn't do that great of a job as the pressure able to get to them in a sack. Look for a little check down, maybe a draw, a screen. They got to find a way to beat this pressure from Middletown. It looks like maybe they won't bring it this time.
No, they're showing just a 3-man rush. But Wilson came in last time. Drummond throws middle of the field. It's caught by Noah Hoff in traffic. And he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage plus a couple more.
Not a bad play there for Drummond, right? Just get give what the defense is going to give you there on second down, and now you got a shot. Yeah, you're looking at around 3rd or 7, 3rd and 8, but that's something that you can accomplish as an offense. 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, which is what it would have been.
Yeah.
Not obviously as high of a success rate. So a nice play there on second down to set yourself up for a chance to pick up a new set of downs here on 3rd and 8.
You really have to trust your receivers when you throw into a lot of traffic like that. That could have easily been picked off, but Drummond just zipped it right in there, and Hoff is a good possession receiver. All right, trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver to the bottom. Griffith in the backfield with quarterback beside Drummond. Now he'll reset to the left. Yeah, this time they're showing blitz, and they back off. Drummond back to pass. Looks far side. Has a man wide open. Rogers in midfield. He's going to be caught from behind down at the 30-yard line. I don't know how he got that open.
Wide open down the sideline. If there's one guy you don't want to lose, it's probably number 3 for the Appo Jaguars in Jasir Rogers, but he has that ability to just find holes in the defense, and then the yards after the catch with the speed. A nice tackle from behind to save what would have been a touchdown. But Rogers, again, 4.3 speed. All he needs is a little bit of grass, and he is out of there. He'll see you in the end zone where he likes to live. But I'll tell you, a big play there from Drummond. They dropped out of the pressure, as you mentioned, Glenn. They showed 5. They brought 3. And by the time those guys got back there, I think Rogers already had his spot on the sideline.
44-yard connection from Drummond to Rogers. In business, the Jags at the Middletown 30-yard line. 7:10 to go in the first half. Looks like Griffith stays in the game as the running back. Drummond with a hard snap, trying to draw Middletown off. Now they hand it off, cutting it to the outside, trying to get the edge. And Griffith will get down close to the 22-yard line. He'll pick up 22. He's going to pick up 8. I didn't think he had that many.
I like to see that, right? Like going back to the run game, you don't want to see them abandoning it early on. Didn't really get anything going on the last couple of drives. Love to see them stick with it there. You get the first down, then you pound it on first down with Griffith, who has a speed that it doesn't seem like maybe those other backs didn't have for Appoquinimink throughout the season. That initial burst from Griffith, it looks very good right now with that acceleration. He's able to get to the edge with that speed quickly, able to beat Middletown for a big game.
Setting that edge, right tackle Gavin Servia, the sophomore for Appo. And second down and short. And handoff again. Griffith, I don't know how he just changed fields. He spins again. And if he does a jumping backward flip like the Philadelphia Eagles running back, I think he's watching too much NFL there.
So this was a belly read here between Drummond and the running back, and it was the line crashed, so he didn't know whether to give it or hold it. So he held it long enough to where the momentum from the running back took him in a pirouette. He spinned around full 360 and ended up clearing a path for him on the far sideline. He was able to use that spin with that speed to get to the outside and pick up a big first down and some extra yards. That was not, again, that might have to become a play. Maybe that's something Andy Reid, the Chiefs, might figure out and run a little bit later on. But that was just a fantastic. That's when kind of the unexpected goes right for you there. A little spin. If you're on the replay, go back and watch that one. A little spin and go. That might have to be added to the playbook for Coach Timpson.
Man, what a job by Griffith. And a timeout was taken by Zach Blum of Middletown. With 5:51 to go in the half, he wants to get this defense regrouped. That was a gain of about 10 yards.
I saw Pat's reaction, too, after that. We both ran. I mean, just for to see that one, that was a funny play there that ended up working out very well for the Jaguars.
All right, from the Middletown 12. 1st and 10 for the Jags. Griffith stays in at running back. He is to the left of Drummond. Middletown showing a 3-player blitz. A 3-man rush. We'll see if they stick with that. No, they bring 4. Throws it into the end zone. Jump ball. Oh, there was a little bit of contact. before the ball got to the receiver, but no flag.
Yeah, that time Drummond dropping back on the post corner to the near pylon, trying to look for his man, had one-on-one coverage. It was an out and up to the far sideline. But again, Drummond not looking to that left side, recognizing the coverage and trying to go to the backside here where he had a little bit more space to the wide side of the field.
And he went off to the sideline to get the play from the bench. He's now back in the huddle. Clock stopped with 5:46 to go in the half. 2nd down and 10. Drummond again checks with the sideline to see if there's any change in the play. Griffith stays in at running back. Montabell and Noah Hoff split to the top of your screen. Francis Drummond in a slot.
Play clock's running down. I don't know if they took a timeout. I think they did. That'll be their second.
Exactly. Both teams have used 2 timeouts with 5:46 to go in the half. A big play coming up here for both teams, and they both, let me tell you, they have their eyes on that Smyrna-Sussex Central game. Here's what happens, folks. It's unofficial, but here's what happens. The winner of the Smyrna-Sussex Central game wins that district championship and an automatic playoff spot and an automatic 1 or 2 seed. Now, if Sussex Central wins tonight, they'll be the 1 seed. Salesianum has already won District 1. They'll be the 2 seed. And then Middletown and Appo are pretty much in line to get the 3 and the 4 seed. Now, Smyrna can throw a monkey wrench into all of this. If they upset Central tonight, they win the district. Sally's will be the 1 seed. Smyrna will be the 2 seed. Central will be 3. And these 2 teams playing here will be 4 and 5. That means that number 5 seed's got to go on the road.
And I'll tell you what, just looking at it from that perspective, we've got a really good, top 5 or 6 teams in Class 3A.
Drummond takes it himself after he fakes the handoff to Griffith, and he loses 3 yards back to the 15. You're exactly right, though.
Yeah, caught that one a little bit late as they were up there on the play. Not sure if it was just a pull and Middletown was able to read that or if there was a error in the execution there. But a big play by Middletown now to kind of stop that momentum. They get a couple first downs, and then you have the incompletion on first, and now a tackle for loss here on second. So 3rd and long as this Middletown defense is tightening up, bending but not breaking here.
And if Appo can't convert, keep in mind they have a very good field goal kicker. Tally is 3 for 5 on the year. We saw him just missed a 56-yarder. I forget what game. I think it was the Smyrna game.
Yep.
Yeah, he missed a 56-yarder. His long is 37 yards on the season.
And if that's the case here, you're looking at 3rd and 15. Obviously, you want to get the first down, but if you're able to pick up 5 or 7, that'd make this kick a lot easier.
You got that right. Montabell split to the far side. I think everybody jumped. No flag. Thrown to the corner of the end zone, intended for Roger, but he was well defended.
So that was the same exact route combination on both sides of the field that we saw about 3 or 4 plays ago on the flag to the post or the flag to the pylon. There it was an out and up and a fade on the top of the screen or a post across the middle, and then once again trying to hit this flag on the near side, but unable to get it there.
All right, so it looks like they're going to bring Tally in to try the field goal. Noah Hoff is the holder. Hank Mowdy is the long snapper. Let's see where they're going to spot this. Outside the 20 at the 22. This will be a 32-yard attempt. Once again, he's 3 out of 5 on the season. All-state soccer player. Waiting snap from Mowdy. Snap's perfect. Placement's down. Kick is on the way. Has the distance, and the kick is good. No, it's no good. It must have been wide right. But we do have a flag down.
Yeah, interesting. This is a big call coming up. Oh, wow.
Roughing the kicker.
Roughing the kicker.
Yeah.
I have not seen that call in a while. Not saying it didn't happen because it is a call. We just don't see it that often.
Yeah.
And that time just a little bit too aggressive there defensively for Middletown, and what would have been a stop for you defensively. This could be a big call here, as now that Middletown defense is going to have to go back on the field, a new set of downs, and now the Appo offense with a little bit of a spark. But again, just not a smart play for Middletown. Again, maybe the effort was there, but that's a big penalty and could be a big play in this game.
I saw a big rush coming in there. There was 2 or 3 players that had a chance to maybe get in and try to block it. But after the kick was made, I'm following the ball.
Yeah,
I didn't see what happened after that.
I did as well.
But now how about it? So you've got –
and if I'm Appo, I come out here and I run the football with Griffith. They did that so well before having to try to settle for that field goal attempt a few plays ago.
Scoreboard says 4th down and 4, but it's not that. It's 1st and goal at the 6. Gives it to Griffith. He sidesteps one defender, but he's slowed up, and he's going to lose back outside the 10 to the 12.
Middletown all ready for that one there up front, coming up and making a play there for the Cavaliers. Jaden Williams, who we've seen a few times so far today, and then obviously that linebacking core right there. But defense was ready. Didn't mean that flag maybe lit them up a little bit. They were ready there, brought that energy back out for that first down play.
Unofficially, we have Griffith with 5 carries. That's the second one for negative yardage, as he's been tackled in the backfield a couple of times. And probably should have been tackled on that great move that he made with your pirouette.
Again, that's a fun one to go back and watch now. That might be a top play nominee for next week. But, again, great speed from him we've seen today, but unable to get the edge on that first down carry.
We're inside of 4 minutes to go in the half. Caden Harvey-Brown is the running back now to the right of Drummond. Takes the snap, fakes it to Brown, throws it out in the near flat. Nice catch made, but a tackle at the 6-yard line. And on the catch was the tight end, Jacob Yard.
So typical flood there off the play action for Drummond. They get him out of the pocket. He's great on the run, obviously, especially on the right side of the field. They get him to that arm side. Nice throw, nice catch. Did have Noah Hoff across the middle of the field, about 8 yards in the end zone. Might have been a touchdown, but again, a nice throw and catch there to set up 3rd and goal.
And right back to the 6-yard line. So the 6 yards they lost on the previous play, they got back right there. And certainly what Appo wants to do here is not turn the ball over, and if anything, give Tally another shot at a field goal. 3rd down play. Caden Harvey-Brown stays in the backfield to the right of Drummond. Now they'll reset him to the left. Rogers and Francis Drummond were split to the bottom of your screen, but it looks like Coach Timpson's going to call his final timeout of the half with 2:47 to go.
And he had to. I mean, we're getting the word again, Pat letting us know, and that's been a theme so far in the first half. Both teams, but especially Appoquinimink, struggling with getting these plays off on time. We've seen all 3 timeouts used, I believe, in the fashion from saving some of these flags that would have been delay of games. So having to use timeouts for that is something you don't really want to do as a coach. You like to have those in your back pocket for certain scenarios.
Yeah.
But again, you'd rather take it in this one. You don't want the flag. So having to use that last timeout is tough for Appoquinimink. But the offense, again, if you're Coach Timpson, you got to put some points on the board here, whether that be 3 or 6. So let's see what they dial up here on one of the biggest plays of half number 1.
All right, timeout is over. Once again, Caden Harvey-Brown will stay in as the feature running back to the left of Drummond. And we have Francis Drummond and Rogers to the bottom of your screen, Hoff and Montabell to the top. Drummond looks over the line. Takes a snap, back to pass. He looks top of the screen. Pressure's coming. He runs with it. He gets to the outside, and he's tackled at the 5-yard line. He gained a yard.
And again, we talked about the pressure. Here comes the field goal unit for Appoquinimink, but Drummond's been under pressure for a lot of part of this game, and sometimes now he's kind of feeling it and escaping the pocket maybe a little bit early, and it's allowing him to not get those eyes down the field here on these last few plays. Did have Noah Hoff again open on that one, but you can attribute the Middletown defense here for making it tough on him.
This is going to be a 22-yard attempt. Mouty snap is good. The hold is down. And this time the kick splits the uprights with 2:04 to go in the half. A 22-yard field goal from Tally, his 4th of the season, and now Appo with a 10-7 lead.
So now you look at the penalty, and now the penalty worth 3 points in this scenario. So it would have been off the field, defense off the field. Offense would have taken over for Middletown, but you get the roughing the kicker call. That's a personal foul, a new set of downs, half the distance to the goal, and that allows Appo. Again, you're able to hold them out of the end zone. So if you're looking at the Middletown defense, that's a win for the Cavaliers defensively. But, of course, the penalty allowing Appo to put 3 points on the board and take the lead here with 2 minutes to go in the half.
All right, the last update we had down in Smyrna where the Eagles leading Central 16-13. Another score for you, Cape Henlopen 13, St. George's 7. And that might be a play-in game there for those two teams.
Yeah, man, again, Coach Wilson did a good job with St. George's year. Cape has been, seem to be good and consistent here throughout the last couple of years as well. Kind of those teams that are right on the outside looking in at that top 5, top 6, of the Super 7. So still some talented teams when you got teams like Cape and St. George's, even when they're not performing as well as they should be. But that just shows you how good that top 5 or 6 teams really are.
All right, here's the kickoff. Little squibber down the center of the
Try to
field, far
play.
side. It's going to go out of bounds, draw the flag.
So a little bit of a mistake there now by Appo on special teams. Going to give Middletown great field position.
Maybe the last drive they started deep in their own end because of the punt. But
That's right.
before that, they had pretty good field position to start all their drives.
Straight up in the 40, near their 40 to beyond.
Oh, they're going to make them re-kick it. And that is the option in high school ball. You can take it out where it went out of bounds. You can take it automatic at the 35, or you can push the kicker back 5 yards and make him do it again.
We had a playoff game last year where that went on for about 4 or 5 straight plays where we
That's
saw kickoffs. And I believe it was Sally's was involved because the coach Deldon kept making them kick it. I think it was Sally Smyrna, if my memory serves me. I could be wrong. But it was just over and over and over. We had about 5 or 6 kickoffs we got through before they finally declined the penalty. Or correct, and then took it at the 35.
All right, so we'll try it again. Tally lines it up, now back at his own 35-yard line. Let's see what he does this time. Oh, I'm sorry, Tally's not. He only does extra points and field goals. Kicking off, it's Lincoln Neubauer, the sophomore. Squib kick, center of the field, hits an up back. Middletown picks it up, and then Wisely just falls on it at their own 32. So they actually lost 3 yards, making them re-kick.
Right, it happens sometimes, right? You can't be perfect, but again, those things happen, and works out for Appo here in this case, or at least for those 3 yards. So let's see now what Middletown can do. Trailing 10-7, 2-minute drill here for Cunningham and company. And let's see if we finally see them put maybe the ball in the air down the field. Haven't seen that at all from them in the first half. It's been the ground game and then that very short passing game that's almost been an extension of the run game here so far in the first half. Let's see what they do with 2:02 down by 3.
So far we have Appo running 21 offensive plays to 15 for the Cavaliers. Cunningham looks into the far flat, completes the pass right along the sidelines. It looks like up near the 40-yard line of the Cavaliers.
And you always love to have a positive play on first down when you're in a 2-minute NASCAR offense, right? You love to have that play. It gives you a little bit of a jolt, kind of sets up the drive there. If you take a loss or an incomplete pass, kind of slows everything down, and a great job to pick up those 9 on first.
Cunningham back to pass, a little bit of pressure. Now he gets away from that, throws far sideline, and can't connect with number 2. That's B.J. Garrett, and that's incomplete.
Yeah, one-on-one. There to the far sideline, had a little bit of space, was able to create a little bit of separation. Cunningham had to step up in the pocket, had some pressure from his backside, and still was able to get it out a little bit. Thought he might have had a chance at it, but some decent coverage there, and it falls incomplete.
So they'll bring up 3rd down and 1. I like the play call on 2nd and short.
And again, Agpo with no timeouts left, and that could have maybe helped them out here. We'll see if they can get a stop defensively.
Wide receivers reset. It's a handoff. Great job for Miller as he got away from the defense in the backfield and all the way down to the 39-yard line of Appo. He gets low with the ball, and he just scoots right under the defenders.
He's got great speed, too. We talked about the acceleration of Dylan Griffith earlier for Appo. Great play call, too, on 3rd and 1 to get the ball in the hands of Miller. Same thing he did against Sally, just couldn't take it for 70.
That goes for 22 yards. Cunningham's back to pass, and now we have a flag, going to be a pre-snap penalty coming up. Stops the clock with 1:33 to go in the half.
Yeah, I think this was going to be a full start, or it is against Cavaliers, so that'll back them up 5, but
we do have the referee mic'd up, so that's nice when you have that advantage in a ball game, but they're having a little bit of feedback problem. At least he knows when to turn it on and speak and then turn it back off. I've seen professional referees have that problem. All right, so that backs up the Cavs. 1st down and 15. Behind the chains a little bit. Cunningham looked to the sidelines. Back to pass again. Gets away from it, throws it away, far sideline. And no chance really for that to be caught in bounds.
Yeah, double slot, same route combination on both sides of the field. You have the outside receivers, the inside receivers running seams, trying to get open down the field, and these outside receivers kind of just running short comeback routes. Everything was kind of covered and just trying to make a play there.
Got another update from Earl Biddle. Look at this. $1:27 to go in the half, and Smyrna now leads Central 24-13 in that ball game. That would be a mild upset, I guess, if Smyrna would win and then win the district. Thanks to Earl for that update. All right, here we go. Second down, 15 coming up. Long signal count, and finally Cunningham takes a snap back to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws far flat, diving attempt, and incomplete. And out there was Parker.
Appo not bringing any pressure. They're dropping, 7 or 8 guys back into covers, just rushing 3 here on that play, and still able to get a little bit of pressure. Cunningham felt it a little bit, got rid of that one a little bit probably quicker than he wanted to. And now you had the false start on first down, and now a couple incompletions, and now you're looking at 3rd and 15. Still 1 minute and 13 seconds left here, so let's see what Middletown does. They throw an incompletion, that stops the clock. You're going to have to give the ball back to Appo, but again, they have no timeouts left here in the half. So let's see what Middletown does and see maybe they hand it off here on 3rd and 15.
All right, trips to the bottom of your screen. Looks like Parker to the top. Long signal count for Cunningham. Takes the snap, he drops back, he throws it quick down the sideline and was almost picked off by Noah Hoff. But his receiver, they must not have been on the same page. His receiver just running straight down the field.
Yeah, miscommunication, right? Obviously, as you mentioned, the go route on the outside, he thought he was going to be running more of a comeback to the sideline near those sticks, and miscommunication. And now with the incompletion, as we talked about, you leave 1:09 for Appo, though they have no timeouts.
Right.
Still a little bit of time with the field goal kicker and Tally, who can make some big things happen. So depending on how this punt and the return goes, Appo could have some decent field position, maybe a chance to make something happen here.
Austin Ham is the punter. It's off a nice high punt.
That's a good one.
Hoff with a fair catch made down inside the 10-yard line. So 63 seconds to go in the half. Appo up by a field goal, but deep in their own end. I would think they'd be a little conservative.
Yeah, I think so. It had a lot to do with that play there. A fantastic punt from Middletown. Pins them deep. It had the hang time, so you allow for the fair catch. Not a lot of room to run, so no extra yardage there on the punt return. Great job by the Middletown punt unit. And now, like you said, if you're Appoquinimink, you get that. You're starting way deep. Now it maybe kind of changes your game plan depending on how that kick went. So now for where you are, wouldn't be shocked to see them be conservative, as you mentioned.
My goodness, Smyrna has scored again. They now lead 30-13 over Central after a Malik Bell fumble, and they're almost at the half. All right. 1:03 to go in the half. Drummond, he's going to take a knee, so it looks like they're going to just run the couple. Now we have a penalty flag.
It might be a full start unless there was illegal formation. Yeah, I might have saw some movement up front there on that right side of the line. There was a little bit of a hitch, so yeah, it would have been the center there. But Drummond, who is never under center, right? So interesting to see him under center here to take a knee because you can't be in the shotgun. You're pinned too deep.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie, you see some instances sometimes where some of these quarterbacks who never go under center have issues taking some of the snaps. So.
And now he's in a danger. He's there at the 4-yard line. He's got to be careful.
Just got to be careful. Yep. No big deal, but just got to be careful. That's all. And I wonder how many snaps he takes under center during the practice week.
I'm going to be stepping aside here to go on down and get head coach Brian Timpson on an interview at the half. So I'm going to slide the headset over to your quarterback partner there, Pat Garriantes.
So let's see now what the Appo or what the stoppage is now down here on the field. I guess just trying to spot the foul after the full start. So should just be half the distance. So they'll have it there. Drummond will go back under center here, and this could see, and everybody, no pressure there for Middletown, and that might do it for our final play of the first half. We welcome in Pat, and Pat has been a good one so far. We've been checking out every play, catching all the action. Another stoppage down on the field, it looks like.
I think we got, did Middletown just call a timeout, their final? I think they did.
I think they did, so how about that? So Middletown going to just try to make it a little bit tougher. Maybe they know that Drummond doesn't go under center. Just want to make them have one clean snap before the two teams maybe head to the locker room, and if it works out, it would be a big play for Middletown. But as it stands, it should be a kneel down, and then we should be going to the locker room with a 10-7 game, and then we'll have Glenn, of course, as he mentioned, talk to head coach Timpson. But Pat, this has been a fun one so far.
The athleticism on the field is outstanding, and yeah, I mean it's been between Rogers. The Rogers play, I don't know how that cornerback caught up to him. I really don't. And that might be the most athletic thing we've seen today. And there's been a lot going on. But to catch a guy with 4.3 speed from behind,
he got a great – I thought he might have been out of there too. Great speed to catch up to him. And, again, only a little bit of separation, but not a lot of people could make that play here in State. Drummond, I believe, able to take the snap. He'll take the knee. And that should bring us to the end of half number 1. Well, it was a J.C. Rogers 25-yard pass, as Pat alluded to, extra point good. Then a 16-yard run from Miller to tied it up. And then the 22-yard field goal from Talley after the personal foul running into the kicker allowed Appo to have a 10-7 lead as we head to the locker room. Coach Timpson going to be speaking with our Glenn Frazier here in a few moments, as we'll send it down to him. You hear the crowd here on our side not happy with some of those timeouts being called.
Yeah, they didn't like that one timeout there. All right, let's go down to Glenn, Coach.
All right, we're down here, halftime interview with head coach Brian Timpson of the Appo Jags. Your impression of the first half?
We need to respond, our defense to pin them, to get us the ball, and the way we've been able to move the ball, losing Leighton Von Morant in the opening play there. Hopefully he's okay. Obviously he's not coming back tonight, and just the gut that we had to come down the field and score and give us an opportunity, and then we got the mistake, they penalty, and we were able to capitalize and get 3 out of that. Going into the lead at halftime in the situation we have, we can't be happier.
How do you experiment with Dylan Griffith in the backfield? He's pretty dynamic.
Yeah, he's there. I mean, they're coming at us hard, but they're away from breaking it. He's got the speed. He's hitting it hard, and we're just going to hope to continue to do it.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much.
Back up to you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Fantastic interview with head coach Brian Timpson. He may have a media background. He may be joining us for some calls here after his coaching career maybe is done, or even while he's still coaching here down the line. But you heard what Coach had to say, kind of what we have talked about here up in the booth. He said the same things down there. He is extremely happy with where they are, 10-7 heading into the locker room. So let's see what the second half holds. 19:30 on the clock here. It is senior night, the band taking the field. We'll be back about 5 minutes on the clock to give you first half stats and all you need to know for the second half here on Delaware Live Sports. We'll be back 10-7. Appo leading Middletown here at home. We're wrapping up the regular season this weekend on Delaware Live.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Soto Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Soto Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Soto Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes. Whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Wraps, signs, banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the Raw Bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Soto Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Soto Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Soto Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes, whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything.
All right, we're back here at halftime. This is the First Aid Orthopedics game of the week. First Aid Ortho with 46 physicians and 22 physician assistants at 16 locations, providing surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, and they're trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. Serving as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, many local rec and competitive leagues as well. Their doctors are available to all local emergency departments, medical aid, and urgent care centers for consult and treatment. You can call them at 302-731-2888 or visit firstaidortho.com. Please mention you saw and heard their ad right here on Delaware Live Sports. Now let's take a look at the halftime stats unofficially that we have. Fairly even, although Middletown's having more success running the football, whereas Appo is having more success through the air, as you take a look at the numbers on your screen.
And the success has been a little bit inconsistent, right? Some drives they've looked good, and this is for both offenses. And other drives, not so good. But you mentioned Appoquinimink through the air. Both teams have brought pressure defensively and have had success with it, but the touchdown for Appoquinimink was on pressure. Drummond able to escape out of the pocket, look down the field, find his man, Jasir Rogers, who did the rest, on the ground. And then it was, as you mentioned, for Middletown, it was the rushing attack. Hanif Miller has so much speed out of that backfield. We saw him do it against Salesianum 2 weeks ago, right before the half, a huge 70-yard run to kind of spark that offense a little bit. And then tonight, a couple big runs himself, including that touchdown run. So you said it, doing it offenses in 2 different ways. And let's see how the defenses adjust here in the second half. We were talking before we went back on the air, and we were saying with how much pressure these teams are having and the success that goes along with it, I wouldn't be shocked to see them bring, 5 or 6 guys throughout this second half. So let's see how the offenses can adjust.
All right, this is the scoring in our game in the first half. Appo got on the board first, 25-yard touchdown pass from Drummond to Jasir Rogers. Talley's kick made it 7-0. On the very next drive, Middletown had the answer. Nice long possession, culminating in a 16-yard run by Hanif Miller. Austin Ham's kick tied the game at 7, and then Appo scores on a field goal by Jack Talley, 22 yards out, and that's the difference in the game, 10-7. A couple other 3A halftime scores. St. George's leads Cape 17-13, that game being played in Lewis. And Smyrna leads Sussex Central 30-13. Two very important games in Class 3A as far as seeding goes, and the winner of the Smyrna-Sussex Central game is the winner and of the District 2 in Class 3A and gets the automatic spot in the playoffs in either a 1 or a 2 seed. And that affects these two playing tonight as to where they're going to fall in the seeding when everything shakes out on Sunday.
That's right. We'll see those phones maybe get whipped out pretty quickly after the zeros hit, depending on how this one goes. But this is going to be a very fun second half. There was a lot of action there in half number one. We've got a great one-possession ball game here, 10-7. Two teams that know each other very well, two coaches that know each other very well. This is going to be a real fun second half.
All right, once again, real quickly, Appo will take the field first, barring a turnover. Quarterback is Desai Drummond. Dylan Griffith and Caden Brown are getting most of the running plays. The wideouts are Francis Drummond, Noah Hoff, Dominic Montabell, and Jasir Rogers. The center is Hank Mowdy. The guards are C.J. Marinucci and Aaron Hall. And the tackles was Leighton Von Brandt. He's injured on crutches and out of this game. Gavin Servia, the other tackle. We'll have to pick up. I'll try to figure out who that left tackle is, taking the spot of Leighton Von Brandt. Jacob Yard is the tight end. Gavin Miller is the punter. And the kicker is Talley. We'll set Middletown's defense just as soon as we get ready for the kickoff here. The front three, Neil Rose, Jaden Williams, and Cameron Lampkin. The linebackers, Taysir Young, Malachi Stewart, Darius Pope, Jack Wilson, and also getting some PT, Eric Dawkins. The secondary, Dorian Rutledge, Anai Bernie Green, Chase Roden, and Jacoby Rogers. Kicking off, Austin Ham. And we're about ready to get underway, Nick, here with second half action. And we have a whistle before the kick. Nope. Just like you guys were resetting at the end of half.
And, of course, a extra long halftime here tonight, of course, due to senior night. Congrats to all the seniors here at Appoquinimink. That will be their final home football game, right? I mean, at least in the regular season, depending how things shake out here in the weekend. But you got to see cheerleaders, the football players, you know, the band did a great performance. So a great senior night here at Appoquinimink.
Yeah.
Switch sides now.
Yeah, we had that wrong. We had to get that straight. Let's
That's
take a look.
First time I've seen that in a while too.
Yeah. Here are the seniors that are graduating on the offensive side: C.J. Marinucci, Hank Mowdy, and Aaron Hall, along with tight end Jacob Yard. Also, wideout Noah Hoff, and running back Dylan Griffith, who also is starting in the secondary. So Drummond's back, the quarterback. Montabell's back. Jasir Rogers is back. They got a little bit to build on for next year.
That's for sure. But again, and still a chance for them, you know, even this year to make a run, you know, one of the most talented teams here in the state out of those handfuls. So it's going to be a fun postseason, a fun second half, and it's going to be a little bit more fun, too, later on tonight when we kind of figure out how this all shakes out going forward.
Exactly. And we'll have just about as many playoff games that we can for you on the NFHS network.
Yes, no bracket reveal.
Nope. All right, here we go. We got the team set on the proper sides of the midfield. Ham's kickoff will bounce down at the 15. It's taken at the 13-yard line. That's Jasir Rogers trying to get to the near side. Takes a hard hit and keeps on going, and he stretches that ball out across the 35-yard line. And there's a late flag as he went out of bounds.
Now, it looked like Rogers ran into one of his own coaches there on the near sideline, knocked him clean off his feet. It was a big-time hit. Now, the question was, if that late flag, did a Middletown player knock him into the coach? Because that was a big hit here on the near sideline. So if there is, in fact, laundry on the field.
I got feedback problems.
They do indeed. Technology's never worked for you all the time.
It's on Middletown, personal foul, yeah. So now great field position. They're going to be up close to midfield.
Yeah, and again, one of those penalties, a few crucial ones for Middletown. The roughing the kicker could end up being maybe one of the biggest penalties of the ball game and maybe the season, depending how things shake out, obviously. But a big one there, right? First play of the second half, you get a decent kick return from Rogers, and now you tack on 15 for kind of a bonehead play here on the near sideline.
Yeah.
Got to respect the passion, obviously, with these two teams in this heat of a matchup, but just got to tone it down a little bit if you're the Cavaliers there.
And we haven't had too many of those type of penalties in the game tonight,
no.
Nick. All right, here we go. First play from scrimmage from the Cavalier 47-yard line. Drummond Back to pass, pump fake. Now he throws it down the sideline. Montebelle's behind the defense. 10, 5, touchdown. First play of the game in the half.
They come out firing, right? Sudden change. There's Laundry in the backfield.
Oh, this might come back.
Maybe roughing the passer.
That's what it is. 47-yard touchdown play to Montebelle on a little pump fake, little shoulder fake, and that got him behind the secondary.
And that's what it was. And we talked off the air, too, in the first half about how many out and ups. There were so many wheel routes that were being run by Appo, but they haven't thrown it. And again, I didn't catch the initial, but it looked like another wheel route, this time from Montebelle down the sideline. And this time it was the shoulder fake on the out to the sideline that froze the defense, froze the secondary, and allowed Montebelle to turn upfield, create that space, and Drummond drops it in the bucket. And these guys on Appoquinimink, we talked about those as weapons. They are fantastic with the yards after the catch, with that speed, and they're able to break tackles. And once you get them in open space, it might be sayonara, and it certainly was that time for Montebelle.
Talley's kick on the way. It's up and good. We'll keep it right here, as now it's a 17-7 lead for Appo. And I tell you what, we had an exciting opening to our half. Apparently, Smyrna and Sussex Central, the same thing. Malik Bell, a 50-yard touchdown on the first play of the second half to put Central up, down now just 30-20 in that one. Malik Bell again, huh?
You know, I don't have many more words I could use to describe Malik Bell. He's kind of like, we used Ashton Jonty here a few times. He might be the Ashton Jonty of Delaware. He's been that fantastic. I mean, it seems like every time he touches the ball, it could be a big play for the Golden Knights. And when you have a player like that, you've got a team like Sussex Central, Glenn, who has been good all year. That team is going to be very dangerous here come the postseason. I mean, we know Sally's at least, I think, in my opinion right now, could be the best team in the state in all three phases, especially on both sides of the ball there. But every other team is right there, right underneath them. So it's going to be a fun postseason, as we mentioned. But Sussex Central is, again, one of those teams that could definitely go on a championship run.
I can hear Benny Mitchell now. Malik rings the bell again. He seems like he's good for 200 yards a game. Even, he's going to get the ball. Everybody knows it. But he's good for 200 and at least 2 touchdowns a game.
Tubby Raymond smiling with that offense there for Sussex Central.
Right. Yeah, back in the day when Tubby was coaching, almost every high school in this state used the wing tee.
How about that?
Short field on the kickoff after the personal foul, roughing the passer. It goes in and out of the back of the end zone. Automatic touchback, and Middletown will bring out the offense from their own 20-yard line.
So it was Middletown that closed out the first half with the momentum. They get that penalty, they kick the field goal, they take a 3-point lead, and then it's them that open up here with it in the second half. Obviously the penalty against Middletown, and then one play drive, as you mentioned, a big one from Drummond and Montebelle. So that sudden change, right? I'd love to see Appo take a shot there on first down after the penalty. It worked out, but now Middletown going to have to come up with a response, and now a 2-possession game, a 2-possession lead for Appoquinimink.
You know, Nick, we haven't seen, I don't think, any of Makai Walker in this game. Glover's the running back, looking in the near flat. He bounced one in to B.J. Garrett, and that's incomplete. But Walker leads the team with 576 rushing yards and 9 running touchdowns this season. I don't know whether something's wrong with him or not.
Yeah, but you're right. That's a good point, and that's something we haven't talked about, really. We haven't seen him at all, and he got the start 2 weeks ago against Salesiana, and we saw Walker and Glover in there for a majority of those snaps. It looks like tonight, rather that be, Hanif Miller maybe won the job. Maybe they thought he would give him the best chance there if he's getting the start, but we've seen mostly Miller here so far tonight, and a couple of those other guys sparingly in the backfield.
So the first pass by Cunningham, second half incomplete. 2nd and 10, handoff, left side, Hanif Miller, he gets the edge. He easily has the first down yardage. They're racing to track him down, but he's all the way into Appo territory, down inside the 40.
I mean, he's a heck of a player, and maybe that is why he's getting these touches, because he deserves them. He was fantastic 2 weeks ago against Salesianum. And then, of course, he's kind of been that spark for them in the ground game, and especially on a night like tonight when I don't know if they're just not trying to push the ball down the field, but they haven't, or haven't even attempted it so far today. So in a game like this, you're going to need Miller to come up with some of these big runs, and he's been able to do that here.
That's his biggest one of the night, 37 yards. He's also had a 22-yarder and a 16-yard touchdown run.
That's right.
From the 43-yard line. Now Cunningham lost the ball. Appo fell on it. I do believe they have it. Coming up with the football, number 58, the sophomore Ian Malone.
Wow, and again, we know Cunningham can tuck it and run, but there's a lot of question marks about that lower body injury that we haven't heard too much about. You talked about the 3 weeks that he's missed coming in, and again, he's back there, and that's the first time we've seen him tuck the ball and run all night. So it's the first time he tried to do it, and Appo only brings 4, but they're able to get a hand on the ball, and you know the drill, right? Peyton Manning talks about it. When you step up, you got to have 2 hands on the ball, and you step up in the pocket.
Yeah.
He left it a little bit loose. Was he trying to run with it? And one of those Appo linemen able to get a hand on it and fall on it. A huge play and a big turnover for this Appo defense after the touchdown. Things going the Jaguars' way.
First turnover we had of the game.
That's right, yeah.
So Appo just scored. Now they have the ball right back at their own 45-yard line.
And I take a shot again here from Appo.
All right, let's see what happens. Nope,
Already
handoff this time right up the middle, trying to push the pile and getting about 5 yards up to midfield. That's Dylan Griffith on the carry.
Nice chunk there for Griffith, and his first start at running back has shown us some flashes, Glenn. You talked about the athleticism and the versatility, a fantastic member of the secondary on defense, a receiver that's caught some passes, you know, the few times that we've been here so far this season. But he's looked really good with the ball in his hands.
He certainly has, and he runs strong for his physique, his stature. He's not a really big guy. But
he's breaking tackles, you're right.
He's tough breaking tackles. You got that right. All right, 2nd down and 5, right at midfield for the Jags. Trips to the bottom of your screen. I believe that's Rogers to the top. Drummond takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws middle of the field, spinning around, making the catch and having a first down at the 38-yard line. And that is, I didn't see the receiver. I think it's Francis Drummond.
And how about that, right? A little RPO this time from Drummond. The first time we've seen him pull that handoff, keep it, and let it rip through the air. So we saw a lot of that against Smyrna in those games earlier in the season. And today, the play action in the RPO game working there for a first down and now into Middletown territory.
How about that? Cousin to cousin for 11 yards. To side to Francis Drummond. Moving the chains. Trips again to the bottom of your screen. Handoff, trying to get the left edge. Griffith looking for the blocking. He goes out of bounds. He might have gained a couple of yards. Good job by the Cavaliers' Malachi Stewart to kind of push that play out to the sideline.
And a flag near the sideline, looking in the area of a hold. So we'll see if this one does come back.
Yeah, you're right.
And it will come back. But that was good patience on the backfield by Griffith for being such a new running back. That patience looked like a veteran back there with Le'Veon Bell kind of waiting for something to develop and open up and able to kind of get to the sideline and pick up a good amount of yardage there. But unfortunately for the Jaguars, going to be negated by that holding penalty. That's going to back them up. And a spot foul is going to back them up even 4, I believe. So they're almost back out near midfield.
Yep, at the Cavalier 49. So it will be, you'll replay the down. It's first down, but now it's 1st and 20. 9:46 to go in the third quarter. Jags came right out of the locker room and scored on the first play from scrimmage. And they have the ball again, trying to take advantage of a Middletown fumble. Drummond back to pass, looked right, left. Now he's going to take off with it at midfield and just dives down at about the 45.
Zone coverage for Middletown. They only bring 3. That allows Drummond to kind of sit back for a second, but he does see an opening, so he tucked it kind of quickly there. Thought he had a little bit of it. It closed really quick. Those 3 linebackers out there, you know, in the hook to curl, middle of the field, hook to curl, were there waiting for him. So it was a short gain there, but second down coming up only here after the penalty. So a couple downs here to make up that yardage.
Yeah, he got about half of the penalty yardage back. 2nd down and 16 now. Ball at the Cavalier 45 as we count down to 9 minutes to go in this opening, or in this third quarter.
But again, a little surprised. Middletown not bringing as much pressure as we saw in the first half, at least to start the second half.
Yeah, they're only showing the 3-man rush again.
Let's see if that changes, but
Rogers in motion to the near side. Drummond looks right. Now he's going to take off. He throws, looking a jump ball, and it's intercepted by the Cavaliers on the tip drill, I believe.
Wow.
Was that a Nye Bernie Green?
19.
Oh, Jacoby Rogers on the tip drill.
So once again, Middletown deciding to bring 3. They drop 8 into zone coverage again. And this time the three were able to get to Drummond rather quickly. Once again, he felt the pressure, stepped up in the pocket, and kind of as he was being grabbed and touched in the pocket, he extended that arm and got rid of the football, tried to get it to his man down the field. Again, did have two guys on him, but it was a jump ball. Gave his receiver a chance to make a play. Would have been a phenomenal play had he made it, but great job by the Middletown defense.
Handoff up the middle, now bouncing it to the right side. It looks like Glover on the carry. He got up to the 19-yard line. He's going to pick up about 7.
But again, a heck of a job. The tip drill, as you heard maybe Pat here on the broadcast, and what you said, Glenn, that's something that we used to practice all the time, growing up. That was a drill we did, and that time just great concentration and athleticism by those two guys there on the back end.
Second down and short. Throwing the near flat. That's Parker doing a spin move. He got out across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Should be easily enough for the first down. Move the chains.
So kind of finding a rhythm here with that short passing game. Again, remember that last drive was a fumble. Cunningham trying to step up in the pocket and then lost the football. But that time a quick screen out here to the near sideline. Again, playmakers all over the field for both of these offenses. So if you're able to get the ball in their hands, they'll most likely make something happen.
And Eve Miller stays in at running back. He gets the ball. And, he's so shifty and elusive. He gets out across the 30, and he squirts out to the 33-yard line.
And Landry able to kind of bring him down there a few yards down the field. A nice carry, though, on first down for Middletown. Got to try to find a rhythm offensively if you're the Cavaliers. You're going to stick up tempo.
Cunningham checks the sideline. Again, checks back to the sideline. Turns, hands it off to Miller again, tries to find a hole, not much there. He does manage to get a couple of yards. It's going to bring up third down and short.
Great recognition early on by that Appo defense to realize it was a run, and they got uphill quickly. And the defensive line, those linebackers, again, some of those Middletown receivers and a guy here on the edge kind of got upfield and had no one to block because all the Jaguars were already in on the tackle.
All right, here we go, third down and 2. Miller stays in at running back to the right of quarterback Cunningham. Takes the snap, hands it off. Miller trying to get the first down. I think he did get it, as it looks like he got up to around the 38-yard line, a pickup of 4.
It's a big play. You don't want to have to go 3 and out once again, or not 3 and out, but having to punt on your side of the field again if you're Middletown. So a big third down there. They're able to convert it. And now let's see if they can kind of get this drive going here.
Darius Pope split to the top of your screen. Parker and Garrett to the bottom. Hand off to Miller once again. This time caught from behind by the ankle. Still managed to get almost 2 or 3 yards.
Nice play that time. Cole Temple coming up and laying the hit for that Appo defense. Limiting him to a short gain there. Second and long coming up for Middletown. But again, to this point, Glenn, I have not seen Middletown push the ball down the field at all to Garrett or Parker or any of those guys. They're getting nothing in the deep passing game or even intermediate passing game.
And we talked about that during the half. Credit the secondary. Good coverage by Appoquinimink. Back to pass. Cunningham looks far side. Completes the pass to Darius Pope. And he finally goes down at the 40, but a big play and a first down for Middletown.
Yeah, awkward tackle there. Hopefully Pope's okay. That knee kind of got wrapped up there. Seems to be fine there. But there it is. A nice play by Cunningham. He drops back the 5-step drop out of the shotgun and able to deliver the ball down the field. There was you talk about air yards, right? Well, there was 15 air yards for the first time tonight out of that Middletown offense. And what does it do? You get it to those talented receivers down the field. They're playmakers, and you come up with a big play.
All the way down to the Jags' 40-yard line as we approach 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Appo trying to cut this back to a 1-possession deficit. Now they switch the receivers. And Glover's in the game as a wing. Hand off to Miller again. Tries to bounce it to the outside. Does a little spin move. He got about 3 yards.
So here we go, big third down, and if you're Coach Blum, you're most likely thinking this is 2-down territory. So you're going to get 2 plays here as we have a Middletown player, or excuse me, it's only second down, but you do have a Middletown player down on the field.
That's Miller, the running back. Hopeless just cramping, but we've already seen fine defensive end for Appoquinimink, Leighton Von Brandt, go out with what looks to be a serious injury early in this ball game.
So, yeah, he will be met by the trainers down there,
Yeah.
and hopefully he's okay, but that would be a substantial loss for Middletown. We talked about the loss from Von Brandt, a huge loss, now without Edge and obviously Leighton. But now with Miller down, I mean, we've seen just some, look, there he goes, able to get up, it looks like under his own power, and he's able to jog off to the side. So that's great, great to see that.
Yes.
And again, would have been a huge loss for Middletown, and we'll most likely see him here shortly, and hopefully he's okay.
Well, that's good, and hopefully that's all it was some cramping. All right, Cavaliers gathered along the sideline there, and they're back to the ball. Clock running again with 4:35 to go here in this third quarter. Appo on the move. Second down and 7. Parker in motion. Glover gets the football, goes the other direction. He's upended, but he got inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. We're going to have 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Not bad, and you're in 2-down territory, as I mentioned earlier. So that's actually a nice gain from, I believe you said Walker on the carry there.
No, it was Glover.
Excuse me, Glover.
Yeah,
and so they are ready and active. We just haven't seen them here to this point.
No.
So they were just riding with the hot hand Miller, and we'll most likely see him in again shortly. But all 3 of these guys very talented.
Yeah. Now Glover lines up as the feature back. Cunningham does the hand clap. Now he resets Glover. And I think he got Middletown to jump that time. He's been trying to do it with these long cadences. And that'll give the Cavs a 1st down.
So he called full start, but it will be, I believe, it's an offside against Appoquinimink. So that will, as you mentioned, give Middletown a 1st down. As a quarterback, you know, your cadence is a weapon sometimes. And if you can able to use that to your benefit, it can be such a big thing. You heard Aaron Rodgers talk about it earlier in the season. But it can really help you out sometimes. You got to make sure that you and your teammates on the hunt are all on the same page.
This is a long, sustained drive from Middletown, trying to get points out of this one. Glover will reset along with Tyzier Young, the tight end. Handoff, Miller eludes some defenders at the line of scrimmage and then runs into a pile of defenders. But he still got inside the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. He got 5 yards on 1st down. That's a good play.
Able to find a little bit of an opening. All he needs is a little bit, and he was able to find it there, slivers through, and able to pick up 5. Like you said, that's perfect for a 1st down play. If you're an offensive coordinator or a play caller, now you're in your 2nd and about 4, 2nd and 5 range. That's where you want to be on 2nd down.
Yeah, right on schedule. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Glover is a wing back to the top. Back to pass. Cunningham throws in the near flat, completes that pass down near the 15-yard line. And that was B.J. Garrett on the reception.
Now, again, we're seeing that intermediate pass game there. And that ball had some nice zip off the hands of Cunningham. Again, a little bit early on, he looked a little bit shaky, and just the confidence didn't seem there when he was stepping into some of these throws and throwing the football. He's looked a lot better here in this 3rd quarter on some of these throws, and now finally able to push the ball down the field.
This is a really nice drive. 1st and 10 for the Cavs at the Jags' 15-yard line. Glover stays in. The tight end will reset to the right side of the line, Young. And Cunningham has Miller behind him. Now Glover in motion. It's Miller off the left side. He's tackled from behind, not before he got close to the 10, and another 5-yard carry.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to keep grounding and pounding, right? That's what you want to do if you're Middletown. It's working for you. This time they're going to go unbalanced to the short side of the field here on the right, and then they're going to hand off to the backside. So as you mentioned, they brought the extra tight end up. He came up to the line of scrimmage to play here on the right, unbalancing it, kind of overloading that side, then trying to get it to the backside, but I believe we have a penalty. So that will negate the yardage gained on 1st down.
So with Leighton Von Brandt out, I've been trying to keep an eye on the defensive ends. They had number 66 in for Appo. That is Chase Harold. Now they just brought in, I think, Anthony Scarfo, 56. So they're rotating players in and out at that position. Meanwhile, down on the field, the 5 yards stepped off for the penalty. Middletown behind the chains now. Back at the 20-yard line. 1:35 to go in the 3rd quarter.
And as you mentioned, it was such an impressive drive so far. That could be a bad penalty. Let's see if it affects them.
Middletown showing 5-man rush here. Or excuse me, Appo. Miller gets it, runs off the left side, and he got wrapped up. Good tackle made, but a 3-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd and 12.
Appo player holding that left leg there after the tackle. So I believe it was
Daimir
Daimir,
Simon was the junior linebacker in on the stop. And again, you hope this is just cramps again.
Yeah, we're seeing a few of these here now into the second half. He was able to get up under his own power. May hack him, and then they put him back down onto the field. But again, it was a nice play there that time, and the penalty backing up Middletown again, 5 yards, kind of putting them behind the sticks, and now you have that play there.
Especially as you said earlier, and we talked about it, they're not getting the big chunk plays.
No, not tonight.
They're staying with the run game, which has been successful for them. I mean, you're averaging about 4 or 5 yards per carry for Miller and for Glover.
And again,
so they're sticking with it.
And when we saw them 2 weeks ago, it was almost, they did run the ball. They did a good job running the ball, but they threw the ball. They pushed the ball, or at least attempted to push the ball downfield. I know you're playing Sally's, but it was a close game early on, and they were still taking shots in that game with the other quarterback, the freshman, Phipps, I believe, at the time. So again, not sure what the game plan was. Maybe that's what it was. They wanted to come in and establish the run and pound the football. They've done a great job of that on this drive. But a big part of this drive also was some of those bigger plays through the air that they finally got going, and that's allowed them here to be in this position.
Injured player for Appoquinimink was indeed the junior linebacker, Daimir Simon. And he's now jogging off the field. So, again, it just looked like cramps like it was earlier for Middletown's Miller, who's back in the game and doing a pretty good job of running the football. He is to the right of Cunningham. Glover stays in, a wing to the left. Parker in motion. Gives to Miller, back in the opposite direction. Puts the head down, dives inside the 15, and we'll have a 3rd down coming up.
Flag on the field once again. It came in right as the player was tackled. Miller was brought down, so it could be a few things. But he threw it with some enthusiasm there, so he saw something. And that's what he saw. Yup, he saw something and let it rip. And that's what I kind of figured it might be. It's going to be a face mask, and that is a huge penalty. So if you're Appo, you get the full start. That backs him up. You stop him on 1st down, 2nd and long coming up. All of that is now gone. You get a 15-yard personal foul. We've seen some of those crucial penalties on Middletown throughout the game that allowed Appo to put some extra points on the board. Well, that one is going to be a big one against Appoquinimink to keep this drive going. A new set of downs deep into territory.
Yeah, goal to go at the 7-yard line.
They're going to have to fix the chains, though, unless
we got a problem with the chain gang.
They're marking it 2nd and 1.
Yeah, we got to get that squared away.
I don't think there's a scenario where a first down, whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't an automatic first, and it was only, half the distance.
Interesting.
So it is 2nd down and 1. Miller with the ball. Miller's going to score. They are really running hard to that left side, and he got the edge again out there. Credit Braden Feltz and Colin Campbell for setting the edge.
Outside zone to Miller. They've been just trying to get him that. That's kind of his play that they've run with him throughout the ball game. We saw it against Salesianum. And that speed, he's able to turn those shoulders and get upfield so quickly. He's able to use the vision to find the opening, and then he just, boom, he is right through there. And he has really established himself now as that lead back for the Cavaliers. And I think it's the right move. He has been fantastic these last couple weeks for Middletown.
Awaiting the snap from center. Placement's down and a whistle. We got a pre-snap penalty again. We've had much more of the pre-snap penalties tonight than we've had, like, major penalties.
Yeah. And the few major penalties, this is going to be an offsides against Appo. I don't think that'll change the methodology here for Middletown. Rather, they go for it or kick the extra point. I think they'll still stick with it and kick it. But the few penalties that we have had that were personal fouls, and the big ones came at big-time moments for some of these teams.
Yeah.
Running the kicker gave 3 points to Appo, and then that penalty leads to this touchdown.
Yeah, it came at crucial points of the ball game, that's for sure. All right, so Appo will try it again, Middletown will try again on the extra point. Austin Ham, the kicker. Placement's down. Kick on the way. It's a low kick, but it got across the crossbar. So now with 30 seconds to go in the quarter, we're back to a one-possession ball game, and that was a very nice sustained drive by the Cavaliers.
It was a couple nice pass plays that we saw. They pushed it down the field, about a 15 to 20 yarder to Parker. Another one here on the near side of the field I believe, to Garrett. So 2 plays that picked up first downs for him, and then the run was consistent. They didn't really get stopped at all in the ground game on that drive, maybe once or twice, but Miller was able to find 5-6 yards that seemed to pop all up and down the field there. And then the penalty could have been the difference. I mean, even without the penalty, Middletown was still only been second or third down, so it's not like they were in danger of attempting a field goal or turning the ball over. But that penalty really pole vaulted Middletown deeper into territory and allowed them to score that touchdown there.
Like I said, they've had so much success in that drive, especially running the ball off the left side. And once again, for the Cavaliers, that's left tackle Colin Campbell, guard Braden Feltz. And sometimes I think Glover's been getting out there because they're using him in a wing and put him in motion and let him block on that same side.
And we saw him balanced out of them last time as well. So trying some different wrinkles there in the run game for Coach Blum and the Cavs.
All right, Austin Ham to kick it off. It will bounce down inside the 25, picked up at about the 23 by Rogers. Makes a couple of men miss, and he dives out across the 40 to about the 40. Well, they're going to say his knee touched at the 40-yard line. Still good field position for Appoquinimink. Just 25 seconds to go in this third quarter, and Appo up by a field goal.
Now we knew it would be a fun one, and we're getting what we kind of expected here. 17-14, still a 3-point game, and now the Appo offense back out to try to answer what we saw out of Middletown there on that last drive.
And we expected coming in. I thought Middletown would be more balanced between the run and the pass, but it's mostly been their run game.
Yeah.
And again, for Appo, even with Dylan Griffith being the running back, getting his first start in that position, it's mostly passing, and here we go again. Drummond throws the long ball, looking downfield for Rogers. Oh, just over his outstretched hands and incomplete. Did it look like he stutter-stepped or something? He didn't keep running.
A little hesitation earlier in the route, but I thought on a route like that, is Rogers going to even go get the football? Got to love that at top wide receiver as he jogs back to the huddle. But Drummond had him. All you need, when you get him one-on-one, you need, even if there isn't a step on him, with that speed, you know he can create that separation down the field. Drummond's issue there, you just got to put a little bit more air on that ball. Just a little bit more air. That was just too much of on a line. You put a little more air on that ball, he's going to drop that one in.
6.
He'll run under it, and he'll get you 6. Yeah, but I like the idea. I'm all about letting it rip on first down, and that time Appo tried to go for it. I like it, just unable to connect.
Now, I think in the loss that Appo had, I believe it was to Hodson. They lost 21-7. Yeah, they doubled and tripled sometimes Rogers. You would have thought those other wide receivers would be open. Again, that's one of those games where Drummond was injured. Griffith running the ball. What a good cut. And he's close to a first down in midfield. He started out right, made a good cut on a dime back to the left.
And I'll tell you why. This decision from Coach Timpson is looking like a good one. He looks fantastic in the backfield. And obviously you talked about the other running backs. Caden Brown had a big game we saw earlier in the year against Smyrna. I believe that one was huge. But Griffith just adds a whole nother element here to this offense back there. That speed, acceleration, and vision, it's really kind of been noticeable so far here tonight.
All right, Nick, that brings us to the end of 3 quarters of play, and this is everything we expected it to be. It's the first state ortho game of the week. It's living up to the billing. 17-14, Appo over Middletown. 4th quarter to come right after this on Delaware Live. I'm getting ready for field hockey tomorrow.
That's right.
Pat.
Yep, we've been on there this week.
I'm getting tongue-tied with NFHS. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you soon.
We have 1 quarter of football here to play, 12 minutes to go, at least in regulation, because look, Austin Ham can kick a field goal too, but we'll see how this plays out. First down for Appo, or second down rather, 2nd and 10 after the incomplete. Hand off to Griffith, nothing there. And he's hitting the backfield and drop for a loss of at least 3 yards.
That time that Middletown defense ready for it, and it's been a little while since we saw Griffith brought down for a short gain or no gain, and this time he's brought down in the backfield. A tackle for loss behind the sticks now, 2nd and long for Appo. A big play for that Middletown defense on first down, Glenn. And we got another update. They're through 3 quarters down there. Smyrna 30, Sussex Central 26. The Eagles holding that 4-point lead as they go to the 4th.
Wow. So the difference in that game is two two-point conversions.
Yeah.
Unlike this one, which is a field goal. All right, here we go. Second down, 13. The Jags back now at their own 46-yard line. Receivers are 2 by 2. Drummond looks over the line, checks the sideline. Back to pass. Looks down the far sideline and incomplete. Looking for Dominic Montabell. And he underthrew him that time.
Yeah, it kind of looked like he was kind of targeting the back shoulder near the sticks there. Kind of wanted the Aaron Rodgers throw to Devontae Adams. Just a miscommunication between him and his intended target on the far sideline.
So that will most likely bring in the punter. That's Gavin Miller. Oh, wait a minute, they're showing third down.
3rd and 14. And again, now if you're Appoquinimink, you need a big play. But Middletown's in that nickel now, an extra DB on the field, expecting the pass that they had last couple plays.
And they haven't really brought a lot of pressure yet in this second half.
They have not.
No, they're staying with that 3-man rush and going more to a coverage. Drummond stepped up, he dropped the football, the Cavaliers have it. Running with the football and down inside the 20-yard line. Now both teams have committed turnovers via the fumble, but that one returned by the big fella, Jaden Williams.
What a play, and could be potentially the play of the game when it's all said and done. You mentioned the 3-man rush right before it happened. They brought 3. They doubled the edge rusher on the left side, and they left my man free here on the right side, and he's able to come in and make a big play. Again, these quarterbacks just a little bit loose with the ball when trying to get out of the pocket, and Jaden Williams able to get a hand on it, or somebody got a hand on it, and Williams able to scoop it, and then again almost had a shot at 6. An athletic play, though, to scoop and score. Sometimes you got the defensive coordinator going, jump on it,
Yeah,
but he was able to pick it up and get some extra yards for his offense.
All right, Jasir Rogers, we're being told by Pat Garriantes, made that touchdown-saving tackle, and he brought the big fella down. Handoff to Miller, hitting the backfield. Will go down for very little gain. And in there on the stop is Ian Malone. He's had a good ball game.
Yeah, Malone and Temple again in the mix, coming up from that spot, his safety spot and making a play. Or outside linebacker, excuse me. And a nice play on first down defensively for Appo. Middletown, 2nd and 10.
It's funny, the Middletown offense looking to the sideline for the play. The Appo defenders were looking to the Middletown sideline too. You don't know what the play is, guys. Come on.
You never know. Connor Stallions.
They're not the New England Patriots. Parker in motion to the top of your screen. Handoff going the opposite direction. Look at Miller. He's so tough.
And Middletown does such a good job, at least in their run attack, with the way they use their motion. They like to go motion to one side, and then they come back to the other side with that rushing attack. This time, again, it's usually between Parker, that is the guy that goes in motion, takes that defense with him, and then they'll hit you on the counter back the other way. They do it again there with Miller. And when you got that speed like number 5 has, you need that little bit of an opening with that motion just to freeze 1 or 2 of those defenders could be all you need.
Yeah, you're right. They've done that. Most of his successful runs to the left all night has been Parker in motion to the opposite side of the field. He picks up 4 there, so it brings up 3rd down and 6. 10 minutes to go in the game. Cunningham checks the sideline one more time. Now checks it again. Has Glover with him in the backfield.
You have to call timeout.
Yep. I think they were running out of time.
Yes, they were. I think that play clock was coming down. Coach Blum can't take a penalty there on 3rd down. Have to get that timeout off. They did. Don't want to look at 3rd and 10. 3rd and 6 is manageable. And again, not sure how the kicking game is here for Middletown at this point. I know they were dealing with some things and some injuries throughout the year, but maybe 2-down territory depending how that part of your game is looking for the Cavaliers with 3rd and about 6.
Now, is that the first timeout taken by either coach this half?
I believe so.
I think it's the first one for Middletown for sure. I'm not sure if Timpson had to call one or not on that drive where they scored the touchdown. Well, no, that was a one-play drive. Anyhow, 3 quarters in the books down in Smyrna. 30-26, Eagles on top of the Golden Knights. And that is for the District 2 championship.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in to catch some free Friday night lights here on Delaware Live Sports. You cannot beat it, and you can't find it anywhere else.
Yeah. All right, coming out of the timeout. 3rd down and 6. A much tighter formation here. Extra blocking back. Glover to the right of Cunningham. Cunningham back to pass. A little crossing route, and it's knocked away. That is good defense by Carter, and he's made some big plays in the game.
Yeah, I like the play call, too, going with the post across the middle of the field, but Carter reading the quarterback perfectly, jumping that route, perfect timing, no flag necessary. Again, didn't get there early, just a great break on the ball on a nice throw by Cunningham, too. Again, a tough catch, but able to come up. Better play by the defender.
Interesting decision here because, again, Austin Ham has a good leg. He could tie this game up, but it looks like the Cavaliers are going to go for it.
That's why I was surprised a little bit there on 3rd down. They didn't run the football. Again, 2-down territory, but they could pick this up. All you need is 6, so not a big deal here on 4th down.
And Appo needs to stay patient and not jump on a snap count as well. Glover to the right of Cunningham.
They try the hard count, too. Nope, going to let it go.
He went with it. Now he steps up to run. He's got the 1st down at the 10, tripped up, and he's going to be near the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
And that time, with Appo dialing up the pressure, they bring 5 or 6. Cunningham, for the first time tonight, is able to escape the pocket, get out, find an opening, and make a play with his legs. He hasn't been able to do that tonight. We know he's capable of it, just hasn't found it. But on that play, he's able to escape the pocket, use the legs that we know he can use, and makes a big play, a huge play for the quarterback, Cunningham in Middletown.
Big 9-yard run by Darian Cunningham. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Appo trying to take the lead. Play action. It was Wildcat with Glover, and he's hit by Griffith after a gain of 1.
Nice play by Griffith there, and a big one there on 1st down. You want to come up with a short gain or a tackle for loss if you're that defense once they get that inside, and that's a huge play on 1st down to kind of stop it here for a second, able to reset now, take a deep breath if you're that Appo defense, and try to hold here in Middletown. I mean, how about this? You get the fumble if you're the Cavaliers, and then that 4th down conversion. They've really kind of stringed some things together, finding that rhythm on both sides of the ball.
They sure have. Now they get quarterback Cunningham back in the game. Miller lined up behind him. 2nd and goal from the 4. Turns, gives it to Miller. Tripped up in the backfield. What a play by Simon.
Wow, and that's, again, a linebacker's dream. Your defensive line does the job. The opening is there. You're one-on-one with the running back, and that's not an easy play to make sometimes, especially when you got some backs like the Cavaliers have. Open space, able to bring him down one-on-one. That is a beautiful play by Simon, as you mentioned. A great time, and now a big 3rd down coming up for Middletown. 1st and goal. Things were looking bleak for Appo a few moments ago, and now a chance to come up with a stop here. 2 plays to do it. And for Middletown, what do you draw up here on 3rd down?
Exactly, and now the Cavaliers trying to take advantage of an Appo fumble. Turn it into points. It's 3rd down and goal from the 6.
Garrett to the wide side of the field.
Cunningham puts it in the belly of Miller. He's hit right at the line. He's diving forward. I think they might give him forward progress to the 3.
So here we go, Glenn. Decision time. If you're Middletown, do you kick the field goal? Or do you go for it here? You need only 2 yards to take the lead with a touchdown. What is Coach Blum going to do? This could be the play call of the game.
Think he calls a timeout to talk about it?
It doesn't look. It looks like the offense is staying out on the field.
All right. 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. Cunningham lines up as a wideout. Glover in the Wildcat. Parker in motion. Give it to Parker, trying to get the far edge, and he dives across for a touchdown.
Wow.
What a play.
There it is. It was gut check time for Middletown on this drive. 4th and 6. Cunningham escapes the pocket, able to find a 1st down with his legs. A huge play, a 4th down conversion. And then how about another 4th down conversion? You get down to the goal line, 4th and goal. You're down 3 in the 4th quarter. You need a big play, and they draw it up for Parker, who I thought maybe hasn't got enough touches so far in this one tonight. Well, they gave it to him when they needed him in the biggest spot in the game. He takes that jet sweep for 6.
And now an all-important extra point to give Cavaliers a 4-point lead. Ham's kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field. 7:39 to go in this one. 21-17 Middletown. We'll be back after this.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
The Middletown Cavaliers have just grabbed their first lead of the ball game, and it comes with 7:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Austin Ham's kick. He boots it out of the back of the end zone, so Appo will start at their own 20-yard line. Plenty of time, Nick, but Middletown taking advantage of the turnover and the fumble.
They've come up huge here in the fourth quarter. Whenever they needed somebody to make a big play, it's been the Cavaliers here in the fourth. It was a huge fumble by the defense that started it all. If it wasn't for that turnover by that Middletown defense a few moments into the fourth quarter, they're not put in a position to score that go-ahead touchdown. So the defense makes a play. The offense is able to follow it up with a nice drive for 6. All phases here starting to work for the Cavaliers, who have really stolen the momentum late in this second half.
It's going to be interesting to see how Middletown plays this defensively. They're going to stay with a 3-man rush on quarterback to side Drummond, or they're going to dial up some pressure. Drummond flanked to the right by Griffith. Now he takes it himself. He faked it to Griffith, nowhere to go. He's bottled up and tackled in the backfield. Good job by number 55, Cameron Lampkin.
Now it looked like he had a screen option to the top of the screen there, maybe a short RPO where it's a handoff, a keep, or a screen pass. That time he decides to keep it himself, and if they're putting that decision in his hands and allowing him to maybe be a part of the run game, you got to think he's healthy enough to do it. So he looks like maybe coach has confidence in him that ankle's okay. They're letting him run the football. Didn't work out that time. Middletown making the plays when they need them. First down, they lose some yardage here, so they're going to have to make it up for it.
Second down and 12. Trips to the top of your screen. That's Noah Hoff, Montebell, and Francis Drummond. Jasir Rogers to the bottom. Griffith in the backfield with Desai Drummond. Drummond drops straight back. Now he moves up in the pocket. He's motioning downfield. He throws the ball, and it is knocked away. Intended receiver was Griffith out of the backfield.
And I don't believe a flag on the play, but we have an Appo Jaguar. Drummond's down on the near sideline, and he's had to be helped up by the coaching staff. So he's going to get back, and they're discussing, was he hit late? I don't know. Is that what? So there are flags down at the 15-yard line.
Okay.
Wow. And there you have it. We've talked about how some big penalties in big moments, and after Appo gives a few big penalties to Middletown here, Middletown now with a huge one of their own. I mean, there have been some crucial ones in this game that have led to points for both teams. That is a huge penalty against the Cavaliers. You have them lose yards on second down, incompletion. You're looking at third and long, deep in their own territory after you score the go-ahead touchdown with just 6.5 minutes to play. That is a pivotal hit, and a roughing the passer call gives Appo a whole new life here in the fourth.
All the way out to their own 33-yard line. Rogers and Francis Drummond to the bottom of your screen. Hoff and Montebell to the top. Griffith in at wideout. Griffith breaks through the line of scrimmage and gets all the way out to the 40-yard line. He's going to pick up 7.
He's been impressive tonight. Very impressive there. As you talked about, first game at running back. You would have never guessed it if you had somebody watching this game that was his first game in the backfield.
And they go quickly. Same alignment with the wideouts. Drummond has Griffith now to his left. Second down and 3. High snap, quick pass, and that is deflected. And I think that was Jack Wilson who got a big paw on it.
Looking for Francis Drummond there across the middle. Would have been enough for the first down. Right to the sticks is kind of where they were kind of did that. Both slot receivers getting right to the sticks on those little hitches. Just couldn't get it there.
So apparently Appo defensively has made some kind of an adjustment where they're covering up the star-studded receivers for Appoquinimink much better here in the second half. They're staying with a three-man rush. They were putting some extra pressure on the quarterback and some blitz packages in the first half. They have not done that at all in the second half. They're dropping back in cover.
Yeah, they've dropped 8 back every time almost here in the second half, trying to make him find those guys down the field.
Now Wilson does blitz. Drummond takes off with it down the right side, cuts it back to the 50, 45-40, 35-30, and knocked down inside the Cavalier 25-yard line.
And there he goes, looking a little bit more healthy now. We saw him earlier in the year really use those legs at different moments, and that was a big one. Way to tuck it. He's tried that a few times, and those gaps have really closed up quickly. Not this time. He's able to escape, get through it, show off the speed, and was one broken tackle away from regaining the lead for the Jaguars.
Intelligent call by him because he saw Wilson blitzing off the right side. He took off in the other direction and got big yardage. He gained 35 yards on that run down to the Cavalier 25. 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Drummond taking a second to catch his breath after the long run. Back to pass. Looks right, now left, center of the field. Nice catch made. Touchdown, Dylan Griffith.
Wow, what a ball by Desai Drummond. When you talk about threading the needle, that's what number 12 was able to do. Again, had Montebill towards the sideline, a little bit of a shallower route. I thought that might have been the correct read. No, Drummond trusts that arm. A beautiful throw to a receiver that had just enough space there, and Griffith across the middle in front of the safety over top of the linebacker. That's textbook. A beautiful throw by Drummond, a beautiful catch and finish as well. I think the Middletown defense didn't think that ball was going to get through. It almost looked weird after he caught it as he was able to kind of walk into the end zone there. A big-time drive by this Appo offense to answer what Middletown was able to do.
Aided by a big roughing the passer penalty, too. Here's the kick by Talley. It's on the way, and it's no good. Was it partially deflected at the line of scrimmage? I don't know, but that's big. It's only a 2-point lead at 23-21.
And again, I think, and as you know, for the regular season, Glenn, Middletown did have, I believe, a little bit of a kicking game, though that was not even an option for them on that fourth down on the previous drive. So I'm not sure if that's something that they're comfortable with. I believe it is. They just chose to stick with the offense last time around. It worked out for them. But if it does come down to that, a field goal would give them the lead back. So that is absolutely huge, and we'll see how confident they are in that kicking game if it comes to it.
Nice route by Dylan Griffith there. He was lined up to the left of quarterback Drummond. I thought he almost jumped the snap count. Looked like Griffith moved forward just before the snap. I was waiting for a flag, didn't come, but he went straight down the hash marks, and then he cut it right in the middle of the field. And you got to give Drummond credit. He's not focusing on one receiver. He's surveying the field.
Going through his progressions, and that was, like you said, a beautiful read and not an easy throw. That is a tough throw to make, and he made it look easy on a rope on the money.
All right, here's the kickoff. 5:15 to go in this one. Again, a little squibber. Center of the field, it's bobbled and dropped. Appo picks it up, throws off the timing. He broke a couple of tackles and finally caught from behind all the way out across the 30 to about the 33. I see that happen so many times. The receiver returning the ball, if he bobbles it just a little, just throws the timing of the coverage team right off.
We've seen that a few times as well. It's interesting. You might have to put that into the playbook. Just drop the football, pick it back up, just to create a little bit of a space. You know, you get those teams on special teams that run the fake handoffs, the fake pitches, and the end arounds on the kickoff team, just to try to find a little bit of a space. But not bad field position here for the Cavaliers. And you talked about, you know, we've alluded to the game last night on Thursday Night Football, defense early and all offense later on. We've seen a lot of offense here in the second half, and we're going to have to see more from Middletown if they want to win this football game.
1st and 10 for the Cavs at their own 33-yard line. This time B.J. Garrett in motion to the near side. Hand off to Hanif Miller on the right side. Gets 10 yards and a first down.
He's so quick out of the backfield. I mean, he hits the hole like Aaron Jones. I mean, you talk about from 0 to 100, the acceleration. If you were to time with a stopwatch, his time from the backfield to receiving that handoff, it is lightning quick. He hits that hole, and he really goes. Great vision. He's able to get through, and another big gain for Miller as we have an Appo Jaguar down the far side.
Yeah, and while we have this little break in the action, got another update from our friend Earl Biddle. With 3.5 minutes left in the game, Smyrna stops Sussex Central on the 1-yard line. So they don't score. Smyrna has the ball, and they're still leading 30-26. And will that be another game that Sussex Central has stopped at the 1? for a big loss. That's how they lost to Appoquinimink earlier in the year. They were stopped on the 1-yard line.
It was something like that. I forget the score, 33-30, something like that.
33-30.
But how about those two games? The one that they have down there and then one we got up here. We got two fantastic matchups tonight.
We sure do. Good action in Class 3A tonight on the final weekend of regular season.
And it did look like cramps. I believe the player down for Appo, was, well, it can't be 43 because there is no 43. But that's what I had projected. Looks like cramps, though, for whoever it was, and should be hopefully good to go.
All right. First down at 10. Miller cuts it to the outside, gets the edge down the sideline. Another first down, and he picks up about 15 yards.
There's not much else I can say. We just have seen it, just so fast. And, again, I'll say the word acceleration about 10 times tonight because that's just what we've seen out of these guys. He has been fantastic for Middletown in the backfield.
Nick, do you think the run game of Middletown is starting to wear Appo down a little bit?
It could be. And, again, they've stuck with it the entire game. No matter us saying, hey, maybe they should push the ball down the field, they really haven't, and maybe they haven't had the need to the way that Miller's been running here behind this offensive line.
Another first down for the Cavaliers in Appo territory outside the 42 at the 43-yard line. Receivers are stacked to the near side. Cunningham checks the sideline for the change in play. Behind him is Miller, and in a wing to the right is Glover. They run to Miller, right up the middle. Scoots right through there, and he's into the secondary, and he's going to score. 43-yard touchdown run by Hanif Miller.
He is a big play waiting to happen, right? I'm not sure how they categorize it in high school, but in college, an explosive run is 15 yards or more. I mean, he is the king of that. Every time he touches the ball, it's almost like it's an explosive play. Again, he hits the hole so fast, and his vision from the point of where he touches the football, when he has that handoff, he just knows where to hit, and he hits it with that speed. And if you don't read it right and you even take a little bit of a wrong angle, you will not catch him. He is going to be gone before you even get a hand on him. And again, his fantastic night continues.
Now the extra point. Up and good. I believe. I never saw it. There's the point on the board. 28-23, Cavaliers on top by 5, but still plenty of time in this one, Nick, with 4:25 to go.
And we were talking a little bit off the air earlier, in terms of scoring and getting the ball back, and we were saying maybe it could be whoever has the ball last in a scenario in a game like this. So the Appo offense very capable of scoring, as we've seen, and now they'll have a shot. 4:25, down by 5. They obviously need to get into the end zone. Here we go. This is what you dream about there if you're a player on that Appo offense and on Middletown defense. Who's going to make the big play of the game? We've seen big ones on both or from both teams. But 4 minutes left. Who's going to make the play of the game? We're going to find out.
Buckle up. Put your trays up and away. Put the seatbelt on. Here we go. Congratulations to the Smyrna Eagles. They are the champions of District 2 in Class 3A. They get a stop at the 1-yard line with 3:30 to go in the game, and they beat Sussex Central by a final of 30-26.
Wow. What a job by Coach Judy and that staff, and just all the players as well. A young team that are really able to string things together throughout the season. That's the goal, right? You just want to get better each and every week, and they have done that, extremely here in these last few weeks. They are playing red-hot football at the right time. You never know what's going to happen in the state. They are going to be a team that could be very dangerous that some other teams might not want to see here in a few weeks.
That brings Smyrna's record to 5-5, and they'll be at least the 2 seed in the upcoming state tournament in 3A.
Dangerous
Last year
5-5
they qualified
team.
as a 4-6 team and almost upset Salesianum in the first round.
That's right, we did that game.
Okay, here we go. Drummond throws far sideline, completes the pass to Montebell, but I don't think there's any gain.
No.
Closing in on him really quick was Zach Landry. Number 9, Bernie Green, who's had a pretty good ball game tonight.
So if you're Appoquinimink here, now it's time for the playmakers to shine, right? We saw Noah Hoff early in the game a little bit, Rogers early, but haven't seen much of either of them here as of late, especially here in the second half. Just haven't been able to really find that consistency, at least with the receivers here in the pass game in the second half. So now let's see if you can get the ball in your playmakers' hands, right? Even if it's at the line of scrimmage, get the ball to Rogers on a screen. Just see if you can get something going with some of those guys that are so dangerous.
Trips to the bottom of your screen. Griffith lines up to the left of Drummond. Drummond surveys the defense. A lot of cushion given to the outside receiver. Drummond Looked right. Now he's going to run with it. Scramble. He sets up. He throws. Catch made on the near sideline by Montabell up at the 34.
Montabell's got a great sense of where he is on the field, finding the holes in that defense, being a best friend to his quarterback there, reading his quarterback's eyes. He rolls right. Let me get to the spot. The scramble drill, they call it. A great job by Montabell to find an opening and make the catch.
Yeah, good job by him. He ran the route, but he came back to the ball when his quarterback was in trouble. And a good job by Drummond. He comes up pretty darn close to the line of scrimmage when he lets that go. And defense has got to respect that. Is he going to run with it or not?
Looking like press coverage now here on the outside, at least for the moment.
Trips to the top. Drummond with Griffith to his right. Back to pass. Steps up in the pocket, throws center of the field, connects with Griffith up near midfield, and another first down.
So here we go on the near sideline. They're going to double Jasir Rogers. They're going to press coverage him with the corner. Then they got the safety leaning to this side over the top. So he's doubled. They use him as a clear out. He still got open on the clear out. He could have launched that potentially if he wanted, but he makes the smart read, finds Griffith underneath. So Rogers takes the defense out. Griffith slides underneath, and now another new set of downs at midfield for Appo.
I know the key is just score and take the lead, but you might want to score with as little time left on the clock because Middletown can run it right down the field pretty darn quick.
Miller's one-play touchdown waiting to happen.
You got that right. Trips to the top of your screen again. Rogers to the bottom. Drummond back. Three-man rush. Steps up. He's going to be – no, he got away from a defender. Now he looks. He throws the home run ball looking downfield for Rogers. Can't make the catch. The defender was right there.
That looked like me to pass interference. That's not going to draw a flag. That's going to be a debatable call going forward. Again, high school rules may be a little different in terms of specifics, but nobody made a play on the ball defensively there. Kind of just jumped up out in front of Rogers and grabbed him before the ball got there. I get some of those bang-bang plays, so a no call may be the best way to go there, but again, it looked like he might have got there a tad early.
I have to agree with you. He didn't turn around to play the ball, and he jumped up into Rogers, who was trying to reach over him to get the ball. But no call, so it's 2nd down and 10 back in midfield.
Yeah, but again, that was a first down play. So if you're Appo, just rebound, no call. Got to move on here. A lot of time left. It's only 2nd down. But how about Drummond able to escape the pocket? Oh, my goodness, how he didn't get tackled there.
He was being chased by Lampkin. Got away from him. Trips again to the top. Rogers to the bottom. Drummond surveys. Now he's going to bring Montabell in motion. Pressure came off the edge. Blocker picked it up, throws it downfield, and almost intercepted, but it would have been out of bounds. Miscommunication there.
Yeah, maybe an option route. You had Jasir Rogers alongside his teammate Dylan Griffith here on the near sideline, both in kind of the same area. I think Drummond maybe expected one of those guys to turn upfield and get down the sideline. I think he was looking for Rogers, but obviously, as you mentioned, a miscommunication there, just not on the same page. And now it's 3rd and long. You want to get something here. You obviously 2-down territory. You need to get a first down. You got to pick up something positive here on this 3rd down.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the home run ball unless somebody's behind the secondary and wide open. Cavaliers up 28-23, 2:32 to go. Noah Hoff, split to the top of your screen. Montabell inside of him.
See if they can get Hoff involved.
Yeah, he hasn't been targeted in quite a while. Good possession receiver. Fake the handoff. Drummond takes it himself on the option read. Turns the corner. Has a first down inside the Cavalier 40 at the 38.
And I like that play call. Coach Timpson thinking, hey, we do have 2 downs. We do need something. They were just looking to pick up maybe 6 yards, put themselves in a situation to go for it on 4th down. Well, they got a lot more than that. A huge play by Drummond. A huge block by Montabell on the far side of the field that allowed him to get outside. That was the key play there on that run from Drummond. And Drummond's legs have been the key for Appo on these last few drives that have kept them in it. The big run on the drive before, and then that one, a huge play.
Looks pretty healthy. Noah Hoff and Montabell split to the top of your screen. Rogers to the bottom. Drummond takes the snap. Griffith releases on the left side. He throws it deep in the end zone. It's way over the head of everybody and incomplete.
So that time they line 2 receivers up to the top, and they send them both on go routes. Not sure if that was the way, and they're kind of talking. There was a miscommunication. They looked at each other and said, hey, you ran the wrong route. So one of them ran the wrong route. It was a double go route that both of them took their defense. It was just 2 receivers and 2 DBs back there because that's all it was supposed to be, but not what you wanted there for Appoquinimink, or not what was drawn up. So a little bit of another miscommunication there as Drummond was looking for the deep ball, but not for those. Both of those guys weren't supposed to be down there.
No, one stops the clock with 1:50 to go in this one. Drummond got to play from the sidelines, now joins the huddle. And he's tried to go pretty deep on a couple of different plays. And you're right, Noah Hoff has not been targeted much recently. It's been mostly Montebell and Rogers and Griffith out of the backfield. All right, so we got Hoff split to the bottom of your screen. And now here is an official timeout. A timeout has been called. I'm not sure which team. Pat, did you pick? It was Brian Timpson and Appo calls the timeout here.
Yeah, again, we haven't seen too many here, so I like it. You want to talk things over. Biggest moments of the game upcoming.
How did the clock run? There was 1:58, and it's down to 1:50. And it was an incompleted pass in the end zone. Unless the officials asked the clock to be set at that
and 1:58
amount.
Before the snap, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, big timeout for Coach Timpson and his offense.
Been a fun one, back and forth. We have gone, and again, let's see, because it's been the Drummond's legs that have really been the difference here for them on the last 2 drives. Kind of that belly read that they've been running with Griffith. It's been freeing him up a little bit. That's where those big chunk gains have gotten. It hasn't been through the air like we're used to seeing. Again, I attribute that to Middletown.
Finally pick up a number. At left tackle is Chase Fetro in place of the injured Leighton Von Brandt for Appo. Montebell and Francis Drummond switch up sides. Now, you just had a timeout, and there's a lot of confusion out there.
That's true. Don't like to see that if you're Coach Timpson.
No, trips to the bottom. Drummond drops back, 3-man rush. He looks across the field. Now he takes off. He's still behind the line of scrimmage. Throws middle of the field. A catch is made by Hoff, and I don't know how he caught it because he was pounded by Chase Roden.
He was hit immediately as soon as he caught the football. That was a nice break on the ball by Roden, but a better catch by Hoff. And they're going to give him a new set of downs, just able to get it. Wow, great calculation by Hoff to get exactly to where he needed to and where the sticks were for a new set of downs.
Because he was hit immediately, so it was dead right there. 10-yard pickup on the pass play. First down at the Cavalier 27. 1:22 and counting left. Trips again to the bottom. Drummond back to pass. Surveys the field. Throws it down in the end zone. Looking for Rogers. Jump ball. Was it intercepted? I'm waiting for a call. I think it was an INT. Incomplete.
Wow, and again, I didn't want to jump in there. I had no idea. So wide open underneath. He had Francis Drummond in the flat all alone at the 20-yard line. Instead, he went for the big play. Obviously, he can do that. He's capable of it. It was a good throw, but double covered over the top, and I get it. Rogers can make those plays. I believe that's who he was going to there. But great job. This secondary for Middletown has been fantastic tonight. They have been absolutely fantastic. They have been exactly where they needed to be. Nobody's really been beaten deep. That one play where Drummond got out of the pocket in the first quarter was kind of the only breakdown they've had on the back end of this defense. They have been step for step with these versatile and talented wide receivers.
They sure have. They've had a couple of linebackers dropping back in coverage as well, like Wilson and Stewart. Middletown again showing the 3-man rush with 1:09 to go. Second down and 10 at the 27. Drummond back. He steps up in the pocket. He throws to his outlet. On the far side, it's Griffith, 15, and tackled just outside the 10-yard line.
Great recognition by Drummond. The pressure coming. He hits his check down. Griffith able to get to the flat. That's what I thought he missed on the previous play. This time he's able to get it there. A first down, and the Appo Jags now rolling here as we tick under a minute.
Do they have any timeouts left?
I think they do. I do believe they have at least one left. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they have at least one.
Inside of 48 seconds to go, and now a timeout by the Cavaliers is taken. Stops the clock with 45 seconds to go.
So big plays again for this Appo offense where they needed them too. It always seems like you get to third down, and then Appo is able to make a play. It was there. Just that ball was launched just over the hand of the defender, too, to get it into the hands of Griffith. A nice throw, nice recognition, and a good job by Griffith to feel that and get out into the flat where there was no defender.
Well, I got to tell you, you mentioned Drummond's legs. The escapability of him on that play to run up near the line of scrimmage, draw the defender up, and then just loft it over top to his secondary receiver out there, his little outlet. And big play. Now, you're outside the 10-yard line. I think maybe at best you have one timeout left for Appo. They're only 45 seconds, and they're not going to run the ball that much here, I don't think.
I don't think they may run it at all, if at all. So we'll have to wait and find out. RNC. But again, and you mentioned the legs. A majority of the year, we've seen Drummond just sit back in the pocket and pick apart teams with his arm. Today, he has been on the run the entire night, even with just a 3-man rush.
All right, coming out of the timeout, taken by Middletown. 45 seconds to go in this one. 5-point lead by the Cavaliers. 1st and 10 at the Middletown 11 for Appo. Griffith in motion to the near side. Drummond back to pass. He steps up in the pocket again. He's tackled from behind. He's going to lose yardage.
And this time the Cavaliers not fooled. That has been what Drummond has done almost every single time tonight that he's dropped back to pass. He's been stepping up in the pocket consistently. This time Middletown clogs it up. He tries to step up, no room to, and he is wrapped up and brought down in a huge play this time made by the Middletown defense.
That's got to be the last timeout now by Appo. They take one here, stopping the clock with 37 seconds left. I'm sure you call a couple of plays here. You know, we're going to try to score on this. If we can't do it, if the pass is incomplete, then here's what we're going to run. If they do complete a pass and it's not in the end zone, they're going to have to get up and clock it real quick.
Yeah, depending on where it is, or you maybe just get up there and just run that play that you were talking about that you give in the huddle. It's going to be interesting because, again, they've got a bunch of playmakers here. If you're Coach Timpson, you know, where do you go? Jasiah Rogers has been doubled a majority of this drive. They've got somebody up on him and then somebody waiting over the top. They're pressing him off the line of scrimmage every single play.
Yeah, big time right now. All right, Drummond has Griffith to his left, takes the snap, back to pass, pressure's coming, he's almost sacked, but he got away from the defender, he rolls near side, he still gets away. Now he comes back in the other direction, throws it down in the end zone. The catch was, he dropped the ball. I don't know whether he would have been in bounds or not. And the receiver is down in the back of the end zone. And all of that stops the clock with just under 24 seconds to go. We just talked about his escapability. Good Lord, it was on full display there.
I mean, looking like Caleb Williams in terms of the escapability so far here. I mean, he has been Houdini back there, just finding ways to not get brought down. That looked like a surefire sack by Middletown that would have really put them in a tough spot. He gets sacked there. You're looking at, I believe, 4th down coming up, right?
Yeah.
So you would have been, I mean, you're looking at a 1% maybe chance to get that going, but now, just for him escaping the pocket, even though the pass falls incomplete, at least you're back to the initial line of scrimmage, gives you a chance. If you take a sack there, odds are you're not going to convert that 4th down. But again, that was almost a huge play in the back of the end zone. Drummond kind of just lofting up there a little bit too much on that one, but given where the defense was, that's where you got to put that ball. So gave him a little bit of a chance. Would have been a huge Santonio Holmes-esque play in the back of the end zone, just unable to convert it. And again, from where we are, didn't know if it was because he dropped it. It didn't look like he would have had the room to get the feet in.
Yeah,
so I'm not sure if it was the drop or the feet, but again, I'm not sure who it was either. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah. All right, so after all this, it's actually 3rd down. The 1st down running play, they took a loss, and then there was an incomplete.
Yeah.
So here we are, 3rd down and 13 from the Middletown 14-yard line.
And strictly double slot has been kind of what they've run everything out of here on this drive.
All right, Drummond has Rogers in a slot to the near side, sends Hoff in motion. He looks right side. Pressure's coming. He gets rid of it, and it is picked off by the Cavaliers at the 1-yard line. And I believe that was number 9, Anai Birdie Green with a pick.
We were going to say, who's going to make the big play? Well, there it was for Middletown. Anai Birdie Green, the senior, coming in with a pick, finds another one there. And look at that Middletown sideline. A huge win for the Cavaliers and what was a fantastic ball game.
Yep.
A tough throw there for Drummond, trying to force it on the far sideline. You said it right before the play. They moved Rogers to the inside. He was getting pressed on the outside. He lined him up in the slot. He had a little bit of room, and I thought he maybe had him there, but he decides to go out to Griffith, who has been fantastic tonight. So, again, a tough play, a huge job, or a great job, by that Middletown defense to tighten things up down the stretch. They made the big plays in the second half, the forced fumble, the turnover. Miller was phenomenal in the backfield. An overall fantastic game by both teams, but Middletown made more big plays.
They did, and they made them mostly in the 4th quarter here. We only had 2 touchdowns total in the first half. We've had 5 touchdowns here in the second half. All right, let's get ready to I didn't go over this with you, so let's make sure we're on the same page. Now that it looks like it's decided, I would say that Hanif Miller is our player of the game.
I think I agree with you there.
For Middletown. And then we'll also talk to Anai Bernie Green, who comes up with the pick.
Right?
And he played very good in the secondary.
He did. I mean, all those guys, it really was. We haven't seen a lack of production out of the wide receiving core out of Appo at all this year like we saw tonight. I mean, it was Drummond trying to make plays with his legs. Griffith actually had a good game on the ground, I thought, in terms of efficiency. So I thought they had an okay plan offensively, but the way that they were able to get pressure initially with that three-man rush just to move Drummond out of the pocket, for him to get out of the pocket those few times and still not find anybody down the field because of that Middletown defense was just very impressive for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, good night for Miller. He had a 7-yard touchdown run unofficially. And a 43-yard touchdown run.
They're going to have to get the ball out of the end zone here too, Glenn.
He had 3 touchdown runs in the game.
And it looks like he's going to be able to do it. Not too much force on the other side from Appo.
All right, sir. It's in your hands, and I'll go down and get the interviews.
Got to get your steps in today, Glenn, that's for sure. We'll get ours, Pat and I, on the way back to the parking lot here momentarily. But there's the cannon.
That cannon.
Do they do it after losses too, Pat?
I guess it gets me every time.
Still, it's actually incredible. And maybe it's my fault at this point, but I'm with you. It gets me every single time. Glenn's heading down for our post-game interview. But what a game here, Pat, today between Appo and Middletown. I mean, hopefully we'll get to see these two teams maybe go at it again here in the playoffs that are just around the corner. But what a way to wrap up our regular season. What a game between these two teams, and what a finish.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And this is what this rivalry was destined to be. Yeah. And both of these teams, here's the thing. Appo's not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy with this result. And that's okay. You're a competitor. That's how it should. It should sting a little bit. But the job isn't done, right? The mission isn't completed. You got the playoffs, and anything can happen come that time. So, and conversely for Middletown, that's a good win for them. Down 17-7 in the second half, to be able to come back, that was no easy task. And congrats to them. That was a character win for this Middletown team. To come back on the road down 17-7, force a big turnover, as you talked about, Nick. That really turned out to be the turning point of the game.
I think so too. I agree with you. I think that was the turning point, and then some big plays that would follow that put them in a better position to win the game. But I think you're right. I think that was the turning point. And obviously the big interception towards the end, because Appo was driving here on the final drive of the game with a chance to have that go-ahead touchdown. But Middletown's Anai Bernie Green able to end that quickly. So we're going to hear from Glenn Frazier with our players of the game here shortly down the field. Drummond, the quarterback for Appo, greeting some of these Cavaliers on the way out. Again, these schools and these players know each other very well throughout their youth and, of course, down here in high school as well. Not too far apart of these two programs. And, again, maybe we'll see them down the stretch here as we see, there you go, got the chain down. We'll raise it up, Hollywood, and give us a view here, but it's going to be, again, as we talked about, Hanif Miller and Anai Bernie Green. You'll see there, you see him flexing with the chain on there behind. Benny Fulton snapping some of those picks. And is that a glow chain down there now?
That's a
Middletown chain. That's a pretty cool chain there, Pat Cavalier. Lights up and everything.
It is.
It's no 302 chain, but it's nice.
Here we go. We're going to send it down to Glenn. He's with Hanif Miller.
And I believe Anai Bernie Green, too.
Test. All right, here we are with our players of the game. Let's start with, let's get you turned around, face the camera up there, and you right alongside of him. First, the running back, Hanif Miller, 3 rushing touchdowns for you. What was the game plan for you guys coming in here against Appo?
Just play as a team, one goal, just execute all game, all game.
Talk to me about your offensive line giving you that little crease, and that's all you needed.
I love him, man. I love him. I don't know where I would be without him. I love him.
And then the big interception right at the end of the game by Bernie Green. I'm telling you what did you see there? You guys, it looked like you changed things up at halftime and went mostly with coverage.
Yeah, we started off in a lot of man, and then we just switched up at halftime. That play there where I caught the interception, I just seen the ball. I seen the ball go get ball. Otherwise,
they have some pretty good wide receivers. So I was there. Your coaching staff talking to you guys in the locker room because you put a lot of pressure with a blitz package in the first half. I didn't see any of that in the second half.
I don't really know about that. I play DB. I was just worrying about my coverages. It's a good coach, and we made a good adjustment to win us the game.
All right, congratulations to you guys. Good luck in the tournament.
Thank you. Thank you.
Back upstairs.
There you have it, Glenn Frazier with our players of the game. And Bernie Green, the game-sealing interception, and then a heck of a game from the running back, Hanif Miller. So it was a phenomenal matchup here today between these two teams that know each other very well. We knew what we might get coming in, and it is exactly what we got, Pat. So a fantastic broadcast, and we'll put a bow on it. So a special thanks to the coaches, Brian Timpson, Athletic Director Chris Mascara, we love you, Muskie, and as well as Coach Zach Blum and Athletic Director for Middletown, Colleen Kelly. Again, our crew and broadcast partner. Again, thanks for everyone for tuning in for this free live stream here on Delaware Live Sports. We've got Hollywood down here with us now hanging out. For Pat, closing words, Pat, on this one?
Now, like I said, I think that was a character win for Middletown.
Big win, huge win.
To be able to come back and get that. They've slowly picked up momentum as the season has gone on.
Yeah,
so
like Smyrna too.
They're going to have to keep. They're going to be a team to keep an eye on for sure. And Appo, they've got some injuries. They're going to have to really kind of battle through. But they showed some really good things out there on the field today. Too. And you can't hang your head for too long, right? Okay, this is going to sting. You finish the year out 7-3, but you got the tournament coming up, and anything can happen. You've seen that in years past.
That's
you
right.
Just got to get yourself set and ready to go, because it all starts to really count for real starting after this.
It's going to be a fun Class 3A postseason. You can catch it on the NFHS Network, powered by 302 Sports. We will see you then. Brackets coming out, of course, in the next couple days, and then playoff time just around the corner. So for Glenn Frazier, myself, Pat Garianis, Hollywood on the camera, Benny Fulton down on the field taking the pictures. We will see you for the postseason coming up in just a little bit. Big win for the Cavaliers here tonight on the road.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things